How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is the TimcastIRL podcast. My name is Tim Pool. I'm hanging out with some friends tonight.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Adam here.
There's
Heyo,
Adam.
heyo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, here's me. It's our pitch list.
I can
Yeah,
say
you
my
me.
name, Lydia.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just want to
I can handle it.
All right. Adam's got this. There's Adam.
Today is our 69th show.
That's a good number.
That's a nice round number. Thank you, Adam.
After the show, for those that are listening live, I'll be joining Mr. Steven Crowder.
Louder with Tim
Louder
Pool.
with Crowder. So I guess people are, I guess his live stream says Tim Pool's on the show or something.
Yeah, it does.
So I wonder if there's a bunch of people who are like, I'm going to go watch Crowder. It's like, I'm actually doing this show and then I'm going on that show live.
Yeah.
Hot date later.
It's not the first time. Wasn't it like a month or two ago?
Yeah.
Because I did a pre-recorded interview with them.
Oh, that's right.
And then they were like on the exact same time. So
I
I'll be
was like,
joining.
whoa.
So apparently, I just received word that Steven has a surprise for me.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, what
Surprise.
is it?
I'm gonna. I don't know because I don't know what that could possibly be. I mean, I live in New Jersey. He lives
Should we
in
take
Texas?
Should we take bets on what we think it is?
Yeah. Why don't you guys
Ooh, yeah, tell
comment
us
on
what
What do
you
you guys?
think.
What do you think Crowder's gift to Tim is gonna be?
Well, surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
For all I know, it's a.
Okay.
I don't know, stuffed animal he puts in the corner of his room. It could be anything.
That would be cool.
Like a little beanie
Is
wearing
that,
teddy bear.
Is that your bet?
No, I'm just
A
saying.
little Tim beanie?
What does it mean to surprise someone? He might just scream a swear word or something.
Surprise! He
Yeah,
could just scream
surprise.
That'd be really funny. I could get on board with
So
that.
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have no idea, man. But today's it's pretty crazy. Oh, in honor of the episode, $69. Thank you.
No way.
Yavo.
Ooh, thank you.
I knew telling him that it was the 69th episode was a good idea.
That's all right. Everyone agrees.
Mhm.
It's
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of stories, man. But the big stories, of course, has to do with I don't know, just all the shenanigans.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw this story earlier. Minneapolis City Council are considering disbanding the police.
That's
And I started laughing. Like,
Really?
I mean, it's just
You
the sheer, like, you know what, man? It's over. It's done. It's like just shut it all down. No one has any idea what's going on. The don't wear mask, don't wear mask again. Retract the study. Hydroxychloroquine is bad. COVID's gone, but it's here. Now it's gone again.
yeah.
I'm just like, what is anyone going to be doing? I talk to my friends, and I'm like, so what? We don't wear masks now? Like, I guess they retracted the mask study, saying that we should, and they're like, no, you're not supposed to wear masks. And I'm like, bro, where have you been?
Yeah.
Didn't you see the news? They changed that. No, they didn't. Yes, they did. No one knows. I'm talking to my friends. I'm like, when was the last time you read the news?
Wait, hold on. So, are we supposed to wear masks or not?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Clearing that up.
All right. Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure where we ended up with that.
Yeah. Where did we?
Thank you for clarifying.
I try to talk to my friends, like I'm talking on Facebook, and I'm like, so what happened to COVID? And they're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. COVID.
That was
COVID's
the thing.
gone.
Yeah. We were all supposed to be scared of that.
So now they're talking about disbanding the police in Minneapolis.
Yep.
So look, man, if there's one thing anyone's learned is that, as far as I can tell, as far as it goes with politics, I hate to say it, but violence, terror works.
Yeah, it does.
Seems like it.
That's it.
It's like that South Park.
So the LAPD is going to get defunded, I guess, $150 million.
$150 million.
Yeah, we've got qualified immunity. Now this one's interesting. You can't sue the cops.
Yeah.
Now you
well,
can.
you can, but it has to be based on a previous suit.
Right.
So someone has to have already been like tried for the same issue. Essentially, I was reading about it a little bit. It's loose. It's not easy to sue anybody.
If they get rid of this, it's like
if they get rid of it, that means cops have to be liable. And I was just like, wow, that's legit.
That's accountability.
They're gonna think about things before they do things because they can be sued by the family members or it's an interesting thing.
And I think this, we almost wanted to lead with this story about Greek, like Antifa, Black Lives Matter activists firebombing the U.S. Embassy. But it really is just that one tidbit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very short story. Riots broke out. They were chanting Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe, throwing firebombs. It's literally like 30 words.
Very peaceful.
So, yes, very well. That's Athens. So
Things
it's
are
not
different
the
there, I
United
guess.
States.
Yeah.
But our first story is gonna be about Minneapolis. But hey, as you're tuning in, you can hop over to that there super chat and have your super chats be ready because we will read them. However, because we definitely have a hard stop today because I got to go on Crowder. Like at 10 o'clock, we're stopping because then I'm going to immediately get ready for the 10:15, guest spot on Loud with Crowder live. So once we're done, you guys can jump over there and hang out again. But we're going to try and read as many super chats as we can. We probably won't get to everybody. And that's just becoming the case now because so many people have been watching the show live, and it's awesome. We love all of you guys. But it becomes impossible. So here's what you got to do. You got to smash that like button.
Smash it.
Yep.
Get a hammer out. No, don't do that. I'm kidding.
No.
Wait. No hammer.
Just tap it. Just a little tap on your phone.
A light smash.
Yes.
A light one.
A very, very heavy-handed light smash.
Subscribe.
Yes, on the like
notification bell. Whatever YouTube. I don't know. YouTube apparently.
Share it.
Yeah.
Share
because
the
YouTube
video.
won't.
Indeed.
So there it is. You must share it. Responsibility is yours. And smash that like button. How do we already have so many super chats, you guys? We didn't even get started yet. Wow, we have so many. This is awesome.
Should we just jump to the super chats first?
Well, let's. So you know what we'll do.
I'm down.
Yeah.
As we get warm, it's a good idea. As we get warmed up, people
Yeah.
are slowly coming in the show. They're just getting notifications.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Well,
I like it.
But a lot of these super chats are from we haven't even started yet.
Okay.
So we'll address these as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's see what we can do.
So Minnesota Mando, thanks for the super chat. That guy who shrugs says, Tim, what do you think are Trump's chances of winning at this point? And how will national voting look due to the fact that Dems might us up again due to an uptick on cases because of the protest? Might us up? What does that mean?
Mess us up? Jam us up?
Jam us up?
No.
Maybe.
I'm actually thinking Trump might lose more and more
Really?
because they are really, really unleashing the beast.
And
It's like
it feels like everyone's trying to steer this narrative. Like every single thing that's happened is Trump's fault. Everything.
Not even that, but like all the celebrities that are coming out, every YouTuber. It's like everything is just being lined up. They are firing every last thing they have to go at Trump. It's hard to know, man. I think, man, I kind of feel like no matter what happens, there's some kind of civil war. Do you know the #1 search term on Google today was boogaloo?
Really?
Boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
Yeah. So I think it was Brian Stelter who tweeted like the top search terms was like of the past week was what do I do in the event of martial law? Where should I go during martial law? What do I do in a civil war? And so I looked up Google search terms and #1, boogaloo.
Wow.
More than double the #2 search term.
What was that?
I think that the second one was like Lafayette protest or something.
Okay.
So people are searching for boogaloo.
Yeah.
Think about how funny that is. It's going to be like 100 years. And they're going to be like, the second civil war of America, the great boogaloo. Wow. Tell me more, Grandpa, about why it was called boogaloo. Well, it was a movie in the 80s, 1980s. And they have to explain everybody the memes.
The memes.
Think about
what is it from? Boogaloo.
What is it called? What was the name of the movie?
Oh, I don't remember.
It was something Electric Boogaloo. Everybody knows it.
Oh, it's like
Boogaloo,
the
Boogaloo.
second one. Yeah.
Yeah, Google it.
Okay.
Electric Boogaloo.
I was gonna say, hit us up, chat.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would help.
Chat's
yeah.
gonna start screaming it soon.
It's a really crappy movie too. It's like a B movie that no one knew. Like
Breaking 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Breaking 2. Electric.
Breaking 2.
1984.
Electric
Yep.
Boogaloo.
Yep.
Same
And
for
because
Superbird.
2 and Boogaloo
Yep.
works, like everybody rolls with it.
You didn't
So
even
it's
need
like-
to look it up. People are already hitting us up with
This-
that.
You know what's funny about this is like I think back to like famous quotes from founding fathers and people of great merit, and they're very like, man, the quotes you read are never like off the cuff slang trash.
No.
It's always well formulated.
I know.
It is better that 100 guilty persons escape than one innocent suffer. Today, if someone said that, it'd be like,
Are you okay?
guilty people, man, they should be let out because innocent, they shouldn't be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like quotes today.
Right.
I was also thinking about how political correctness would affect quotes.
Okay.
And I was thinking like, you can they didn't say, I think they actually may have said guilty persons. But you look back at history and it would say something like, never a man shall, fight without his spirit or some very noble statement. And today it's like we'd have to all our quotes are going to be super PC. It's going to be persons and people.
Yep.
So like,
they and them.
Yep.
yeah. Oh, dude, this is really funny. Like, I don't know if you saw the video. It was this 18-year-old Antifa leftist who got arrested.
Okay. I
tweeted
saw
it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys listening saw this. And she's hyperventilating and like freaking out, and she's getting flex cuffed, and the cops laughing, and they're like, "Why are you laughing at her?"
Because that's hilarious.
Because
Yeah.
her shirt said "do crime."
It said, "Be gay, do crimes."
Yeah.
What?
Well, check on the first
So
part.
you went and did some crime, and you're getting arrested for it.
So
Yeah.
I did a segment about this morning, and I'm not trying to be mean because look, man, kids are kids. When I watch a toddler fall over and stub his knee and cry, I might laugh, but it's not because I'm trying to make the kid feel bad. It's because we get it. You're a kid and you're naive and young.
No, you know the best thing you got to do? You got to go, yes,
right.
you did it. And they look and they're like,
because then,
yeah, I did it.
And then they grow up to become masochists. They're like, yes, yeah, whacking themselves.
No.
No. But anyway, somebody responded to me because I commented like, civil disobedience involves getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Like any activist will tell you, if you want to go on protest, you'll be arrested. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's like you slap on the wrist. It's like you as soon as you get, it's like your conviction. Okay, it's a suspended sentence. Go home. We don't care. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all the activists get this thing. I forgot what it's called, where it's like, okay, as long as you don't commit a crime, nothing happens. Go home, and then just walk out.
Yeah.
This kid's freaking out. Somebody responded to me using gender neutral pronouns.
Oh no.
And I'm reading it and I'm like, what they said makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple people there. And multiple people were asking for medicine. And so they were like, they were getting arrested because their stuff was left. And I'm like, wait, who the stuff was
everyone
the other
here?
Hold on. The medicine belonged to the other person. Bro, you got to use English, man. It's clearly a female. And like she even tweeted and she didn't even have pronouns or anything. So like, what are you talking about? Now this guy is assuming her pronouns are they or their.
Oh wow.
And I'm,
I can see the backlash coming.
But yeah, so that's anyway. I'm just imagining the future.
How dare you, Tim?
Well, so
how dare you?
Think about
this is where we need the little Greta buttons where she
right?
pop up from the
How
bottom of
dare
the
you?
screen.
We still really need that. Yeah.
Think about.
How dare you? And then go down. I want it.
Think about what the future's going to be. If this is what language, you know what, man. I'm sorry. I just gotta say, it's boogaloo, man. You know why?
Yes.
You know why? Because there's no way for these two different disparate worlds to coexist.
Yeah.
They can't. Did you hear what happened with the New York Times? We were talking about it a little bit. I might get a phone call and I'm going to cancel my New York Times live if they call me.
That would be hilarious.
That would
Where
be the
is-
best.
where's-
Where'd you put your phone? There we go.
You're getting a call. Is it the New York Times?
I don't know if it was the New York Times or not.
Well,
Oh,
how would
missed
you
it.
know anyway?
Exactly. It might say New York Times, I guess. So they ran an op-ed from Tom Cotton saying send in the troops. And New York Times staffers who are leftist revolted, demanding they take it down or whatever.
Huh.
So the New York Times apologized
To their staffers?
to everyone. And now
For
people
writing an op-ed.
for publishing Tom Cotton's op-ed saying send in the military.
I mean, was it far-fetched? Was it crazy? Was it legit to be posting? I didn't read it.
Yeah, it was fine. It was like, here, let me try and fix your audio. It said something to the effect of, we've got rioters running rampant for the past few weeks. Mm-hmm. The rioting may wane. It may come back. And so let's get the American military on the streets. And the left was like, Tom Cotton's calling for Tiananmen Square. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's calling for people to be sitting on a street corner because rioters are destroying everything.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been used before. It's not. And he specifically in the op-ed said he basically said we must protect the peaceful protesters.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are being these rioters. And this is why I'm like, man, after watching that arrest of that little girl, who was crying and hyperventilating, mm-hmm. I'm not super worried necessarily about a civil war.
Okay.
These people are playing games. Like, they don't really know what's going on.
Indeed.
Yeah,
They're disrupting things and breaking everything.
Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot.
This is you know what I was thinking, man? So I've canceled my New York Times subscription before.
Okay.
And then things kind of chilled out a little bit. They made some hires I thought was actually pretty good. So I'm like, okay, I'll get the New York Times again. Now I'm just like, nah, that's it. I'm cutting it off because now it's worse than ever. Now it's like our cultural institutions don't have the strength to tell these whiny little pathetic babies to shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
They're all thinking they've been spoiled by movies and video games, thinking that they know what life is about, but that's just it. They've been stuck in video games.
Yeah.
They
think
they're living in that world. They think that that's how it works.
I feel like your audio's low for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
it's like
earlier.
cutting out.
Dude, I have no idea. We were trying to figure it out.
Maybe just get a little closer.
We'll get a little closer to the mic.
There you go. That's definitely better.
Well,
weird.
Hello there.
That's weird. Maybe I'm closer than you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, sir.
All right.
Demolition Man. It's Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Yep.
So, I'm I think we have this obsession with safety.
Yeah.
And now we've talked about snowplow parents and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you let your kid fall down and just get hurt?
Yeah, we need that.
And
our skin has gotten thin It breaks so easily. They need a tourniquet.
You know what's really funny?
Seriously.
What's really funny?
See what I did there?
Yeah.
So I brought that around.
So in that clip, this is really funny. The one girl's getting arrested, and then her sister, I guess, is like, I need my insulin. Give me my insulin. It's in my bag. And the cop's just like, no. And she goes, my blood sugar's getting low, and I need my insulin. And then right away, I'm like, when your blood sugar's low, you don't take insulin.
Yeah, you need to eat sugar.
Yeah, that will kill you.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You'll go into a coma. You need to be given sugar. So all these people are. I'm looking at this tweet had 1 million views, dude. This little girl getting arrested, and I'm looking at all the responses on Twitter, and people are like, this is obvious police brutality, things like that, and I'm like, if the cop gave her that bag, and she thought her blood sugar was low and gave her, and then she injected insulin and she just died.
Yeah.
Is it the cop's fault? I mean, not necessarily, but a cop's probably like, what? You want to inject insulin when your blood sugar's low? I'm not going to give you your bag.
Yeah.
Or he might not know.
Now here's the best part.
What else could be in the bag?
Well, here's the best part. When the other guy starts yelling, she needs her dialysis. You have to give her dialysis. I'm like, what is
Do you know what dialysis
wrong?
is?
Obviously not.
Oh my goodness.
Dude,
Oh,
I think these people. So I tweeted, Antifa are leftist incels change my mind.
I saw that.
But I don't mean.
You caught some heat for that.
Did I?
Yeah, I think
I don't care.
I know you don't. I know you don't care.
I love it. It's hugely popular.
I got a notification from Twitter saying like someone reported the tweet, and they found no violation of the rules or German law.
You're like, yeah.
So somebody in Germany did it. I'm like,
oh, is that what it means?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it makes sense because Germany's an Antifa hotbed. Okay. Like, the poor babies are mad that I made fun of them. But I don't mean incel in the literal term involuntary celibate. Mm-hmm. I mean they're the left's equivalent of what they call incels. They are young people who are homebodies, who lack social skills, who are immature.
Entitled as, yes.
Sitting and complaining about the world because they lack purpose and they can't solve their own problems.
Yep.
So that's what I meant. And it's true. It's 100% true. But the problem is for our societies when, on Reddit, they have a subreddit called Incel Tears.
Okay.
And they just mock and berate incels on Reddit. And I'm like, that's a bullying subreddit. Like, I'm not cool with that. If someone's got a social problem, I think we should help them solve that problem.
Agreed.
The issue is that the incels aren't really going out and doing anything.
Yeah, they don't want to.
I mean, they want girlfriends and stuff, but they're socially, kind of messed up. If you're messed up and you're sitting in your basement and you're messed up about it, I mean, I think you need help. But as long as you're not hurting anybody, what do you want me to complain about?
Right.
Now, the Antifa people who are socially messed up and believe insane things are not being stopped, are not being mocked. And actually, if you mock them, you'll get banned. So they're being bolstered. And this is the problem I had with that girl getting arrested. Basically, was saying, in a normal world, when she got arrested, people would laugh at her and she'd toughen up and realize it wasn't that bad.
Yep.
Instead, she has everyone.
Oh, poor baby.
1 million views.
How dare they treat her like this?
She got 1 million views.
She sat in a bus for 3 hours and then they let her go.
I know.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's it?
The worst
You didn't even
thing.
have to go to jail. You sat in a bus for 3 hours?
Dude,
cried,
it's more painful to fly to New Zealand. Like going on a trip to New Zealand. Oh man, sitting in for 12 hours in those chairs. Man, but you get to go to New Zealand afterwards. So, but I mean, like even going on a like Pacific Island vacation is harder than getting arrested for a few hours. But she's getting reinforced by everybody on Twitter. But she's also getting 1 million views. So you know what she's gonna do?
Do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
Heck yeah.
Like, ooh, that was great.
It's like spoiled kid.
I'm gonna get more. Why would I stop now?
Seriously.
I don't know. I have a feeling that more than half of those views were people laughing at her.
I hope so.
Of course.
I mean, I'm reading the comments.
But it's
everybody's making fun of her.
Views is views, man.
Yeah,
man,
views
it's
is views.
You know what's crazy is that we used to have this culture growing up in school where inside your school there was kind of like a hierarchy in a sense. There were cliques.
Pecking order.
And, yeah. And I think each school is kind of different because the schools I went to didn't really have that, but kind of did.
Yeah.
Certain groups who hung out together and did specific things. And they knew who the popular kid was. Now it's all just math on social media. And what happens is, like I've explained before, it creates the opportunity for political candidates like AOC, who have, almost 7 million followers, but she clearly doesn't have that many people in her district. What she's doing is she's highlighting the random fringe extremists from all over the country into a single place.
Yeah.
where they can come together online. But in the real world, none of these people form groups. So that's what happens. These kids in school who are normally the weirdo loser kids that wouldn't get any clout, that wouldn't be praised, are finding a way to get traffic online, and it's like warping their minds
to thinking they're right.
No, it's not even about thinking they're right. It's about thinking they're gaining, they're winning. It feels good. I'm winning.
It feels like it's the same.
Yeah.
Sure.
Same thing.
So you have this 18-year-old who's a weirdo. Like, I looked at her TikTok and I'm like, just not one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
Just kind of a weirdo. But now, after this arrest and this weird hyperventilating, I'm being brutalized, help me, now her following is growing and all these things. What does that do? It reinforces that you did good.
Yeah.
People like this, do more. So there's a mathematical reinforcing of fringe ideologies, but more so just nonsensical behavior. Where in like the past, it would be like, you built a birdhouse. High five, buddy. Oh, hey, that was a tray flip, down that stair set. That's rad. Now it's like, you got arrested. Here's 1 million views. Ooh, go get arrested again.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet she films another her getting arrested again? Because she wants to recreate that moment where she got so much praise and following. She's going to put herself in positions. She even said it. I'm going back to go,
Did she say it?
She did. She straight up said, I'll be coming back to the city. The police can't stop me. So it's unsurprising, especially when you see very, very, the internet creates very, very specific channels like the hydraulic press, the Red Hot Nickel Ball. It's somebody who did a bunch of things, found success doing their thing, and that's normal. It's like a normal good thing. The problem is that the internet allows you to get good at things that make no sense and don't help anybody.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So like we were talking about this the other day with Mr. Beast,
Mm-hmm.
and he did hit a bunch of weird videos, Minecraft games and stuff, and then eventually found his thing giving money away.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's regular old reality TV. They do these things all the time. They give out checks, the Publishers Clearinghouse. So if you find that you have success doing something normal, like culture commentary, video gaming, like good for you. But the internet also allows people to do really weird things like get arrested. And then you end up with shock prank channels where they run around slapping people in the face. And then YouTube's got to ban those videos. So I think that's what we're going to end up seeing with a lot of these young people, but it's political. And then political ideologues who want to weaponize that, use it for gain, encourage it. So that's just something I was thinking about, even though we were going to read super chats and then we talked about that instead. So
okay.
It's all good.
So we should probably actually talk about the police now that everyone's kind of chilling.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right here.
So here's my question to all of you. Should we just, abolish the police? What do you think?
I don't think so.
No. Well, let me show you the story. City Pages, Minneapolis. The city council members are considering disbanding the police. You heard it. It's no joke.
Holy moly.
They're literally talking about straight up disbanding the police. And they're talking about, here let me read this. They say the city council's discussion is starting to sound a little bit more like what groups like Reclaim the Block and Black Visions Collective have been saying for years. On Tuesday, Fletcher published a lengthy Twitter thread saying the police department was irredeemably beyond reform and a protection racket that slows down responses as political payback. Several of us on the council are working on finding out what it would take to disband the Minneapolis Police Department and start fresh with a community-oriented, nonviolent public safety and outreach capacity, he wrote. And then they have apparently this big thread on Twitter. It's an interesting idea that I wouldn't immediately say is the wrong idea.
Okay.
Not outright. Because we talked about this the other day with Black Lives Matter forming their own community policing.
Yeah.
The only problem is they straight up say they want nonviolent enforcement or something. I don't know what they said, like, what is it? Transition will take time, voting capacity, blah, blah, blah. They mentioned something about removing, the force or something from police so that they're not capable of killing people. What would happen if there was no police? What do you think?
I think, man, I mean, I playing Red Dead Redemption 2 pops in my head because it is literally the Wild West. You're riding around, you could shoot some random person that's walking down the road and just walk off and run off, and it's like, so say that happened. Say someone just saw you and shot you and stole your wallet. What you want to call the local militia? It's like, are they going to be trained?
What would you do now?
I don't know.
Exactly. Would you call the cops?
Well, yeah, of course.
I think maybe if we were to outright just disband the police, maybe it doesn't make sense. But they do bring up this a transition period, and I'm thinking about it now. Like let's look, if I'm walking down the street and someone walks up to me and shoots me, I die.
Right.
I'm not calling anybody.
Sure.
So it just doesn't matter.
Okay.
And if someone,
What if you don't die though?
and then I call the police, well, they rush in, EMTs rush in,
Okay.
they take a report, case closed, end of story.
Okay.
They're not going to find the person. They'll take the report and they'll say, oh, well, there you go. So, when I hear from conservatives all the time about defending your, what's the saying when seconds count, the police are there in minutes?
Police are minutes away.
Yeah, when seconds count, police are
Yeah.
minutes away. And so when I hear that people are saying you got to defend yourself, then the police mostly just become kind of a facilitator for legal administration in the long run.
Okay.
So someone breaks in your house, you kill them, the cops come, they take notice, and they say okay, and then they confer that to the courts or whatever as witnesses or as case or whatever, or as evidence for the case or whatever. So then maybe there's something to having the communities have to take care of themselves. Like it's interesting because we were talking about this the other day with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, self-accountability.
Yeah, the guy Hank Newsom said he wants to have armed patrols that would, watch their own communities. So maybe there is a way. I think disbanding the police is wrong. I think that is a utopian pipe dream.
Okay.
And I think maybe there is an argument towards defunding and reforming that involves more reliance on it pushes for more individual responsibility.
Well, let's talk about qualified immunity.
Yeah. So what does that basically mean?
So essentially, I believe it was like 50 years ago, they passed this law that basically gave all police members qualified immunity. So essentially, if it essentially blocks them from being able to get sued outside, like in a civil court.
Yeah,
So they can't be sued. Go ahead.
Here's what it says on ABC.
I'll read it here. It says,
Yeah.
with police misconduct in the spotlight, the U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday will consider whether to revisit the 50-year-old doctrine of qualified immunity for law enforcement officers, which has shielded cops from civil lawsuits, even in cases where citizens' rights have been violated. So even when it's been a violation, they aren't able to get sued.
Yep.
So if they do look at this and get rid of this. Actually, let me scroll down. I want to read something down here. It says cops basically act. Here it says it tells officers that they can shoot first and think about it later. Now that is messed up if that's the case, because that's basically what this is doing. It's protecting them. Like, oh, you made a mistake. I mean, someone died, but we got you. You're protected. And it's like, no, that should not be the case. And if they reevaluate this and change it, that means they're going to have to. Every situation, like, man, if I do this wrong, my career's over, and that's like pressing on every situation. Then instead of going, I'm just gonna react emotionally, boom, I just shoot because I'm, my adrenaline's rushing and whatever. It's like they need to be trained. They need to know that they could be held responsible and will be held responsible. I think that's a huge difference between the way the police have been and what this would mean.
Man, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe we do need a fresh start.
A fresh start sounds good.
Well, whatever that means, I'm not entirely sure. But I've been thinking a lot about the problem of government programs that just keep growing, and you don't solve the problem. So,
Right.
My opinion has always been like, I think government programs can be helpful, can be very important. The only problem is that once you create it, nobody wants to let it go because people get power, and then why would they give it up?
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
With the private sector, you start Blockbuster Video, you become the biggest empire in video content in the world, and then
the internet comes.
The internet comes, and you fail to buy Netflix, and you're gone.
You forgot to tell everyone to smash that like button.
That's right, Mr. Chance. No one will like our
Wink.
video.
No, don't miss it.
Wink.
Smash.
So, well, yes, smash the like button, but no, but I think about government, and we create a program, and we sign it to law, and then it's there forever.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it works or not, whether it's outdated, which
no one's
a
holding
lot
it
of them
accountable.
are.
This is funny. I'm seeing this thing about disbanding the police, and it sounds absurd on its face, but I know a lot of libertarians who are like, yep, get rid of them. The smallest possible government you can, and we will take care of ourselves. I know people who move to Mexico because they don't like the idea of police, and they want to be able to defend themselves with their own weapons and their own security.
Well,
and mind their own
I
business.
feel like that's what would happen. 2A argument is done.
Oh, no, you mean anti-2A?
Right.
Yeah, it's gone.
Anti-2A argument is
resolved.
just like, nope. Everyone, especially if this is where we're headed, it's like, okay, everyone should be armed. Everyone should be trained.
Is it like a utopian view where we live in a world where crime disappears because everyone's armed?
I don't think
Maybe.
that's what would happen.
No? What do you think would happen?
No. So here's what I think would happen. I think that if the argument about the 2A actually really is resolved, if there's no more argument about that, and everyone agrees that we should get guns, and if we start holding ourselves accountable, like the guy was talking about from Black Lives Matter the other night, then we could have small police type forces, like little militias in each community, and we wouldn't have to have like a centralized policing. So it could be very decentralized, which I think is a great idea.
Maybe you actually just need detectives for investigating serious crimes.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, places like New York, you'd need, I mean,
Like white collar crimes.
yeah, but I think states have their own investigative
Stuff
bureaus.
like that, yeah.
You know what I mean? That handles that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And local police, I think, would need administrative detectives for paperwork involving background checks and things of that nature.
Okay.
And then you have traffic, you know, meter maid type duty stuff.
So what would the courts be for then? You know, because no
Well,
one.
no, I think the courts take a stronger role in that regard. Dealing with conflict between, you know, when someone breaks in your house, because crime will still exist, certainly.
Right. Exactly. It will.
But, you know, I kind of feel like we can do better. And the tactics that have been used have created this really impersonal and dangerous situation, in my opinion. Like the fact that cops don't care about you in big cities.
Yeah.
The big cities are trash holes.
Yeah, the force is too big.
Absolutely.
The
They
people, there's
really
too many
are.
people.
Right,
Everything's,
exactly.
you know.
So make it smaller.
But how would you do that? This building has, you know, armed people.
No, you could go by like almost like counties, or like even they're called wards, I think, in New York. I'm not familiar with New York, I'm sorry, but I saw like a very small like district almost is like maybe like a couple thousand people. And you could have a small force that looks after those people, and they would get to know at least.
But
some
Just
of
like
them.
there's different precincts
right.
within Brooklyn. There's many.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe
and in
that's what I'm thinking
Manhattan,
of.
you'd
Yeah,
have like
tiny
different
division.
precincts of militia, essentially.
But
Yeah.
that's what the police basically are.
I know,
They
exactly.
live there. They get hired. They go work in the office, and you wouldn't know them. There's too many people. Maybe the problem is too many people stacked on top of each other in big cities that
Yep.
smell like sour milk.
That's what I was saying
Break up
the
the
other
city.
day. It's like we should not be reliant on cities, because living in a city forces you to be reliant on other people.
Yeah.
You know, we should spread out.
Maybe cities are
Spread out.
obsolete.
Yeah,
I think they are.
I'm starting to think
Maybe
so.
that's the problem.
I think so. We're all on top of each other. People are trying to tell you how to live, but you have no choice but to live in the spot.
We need Starlink. Is that what it's called? Starlink?
Starlink, yeah.
Elon Musk, save
Elon
us.
Musk, please
Once
come
we
save
have
us.
low latency,
Internet everywhere.
yeah, broadband satellite anywhere,
Anywhere, yeah.
then it's
That means
you know,
everyone connected. We got to get rid of grass, start making
Food instead, yeah.
our
Right.
own food, so we can actually survive by ourselves.
I read on the internet that you can pick grass and then suck the juice out,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll slowly die, but you'll die slower than
That
starving.
seems
Oh.
terrible.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So-
thanks for that information.
I would,
Good
well,
to
because
know.
I was thinking about it, because I'm like, I'm sitting here as the world burns around me, because
Okay.
there's like there was a protest nearby here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was announced, I guess, and there was rioting in Philly. It was nuts. They locked down. They shut the bridges down, and I'm like, what do we have to eat if everything went up? I'm like, I look in the backyard. I'm like, we got grass. It's like, can humans eat grass? No,
They cannot.
but you can take a nice bit of grass and suck on them, and you'll get a little bit out of them.
So I guess
You'll slowly die.
the deer people might have a leg up.
They might
on
have
us.
a
Yes.
Oh, wow, you're
No,
right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man, that's the way
The
to go.
trans deer people will keel over with
Whoa, not all of them are trans.
what?
Well, they're
They're not-
transhuman.
they're not all
No, they're trans deer.
Yeah, transhuman.
They're trans deer,
yeah.
trans species.
They're otherkin.
Yeah,
All right.
oh, okay.
Get it right.
No. You're wrong.
Wait.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You are.
oh,
I don't
snap.
care.
What is other?
Otherkin are mythical creatures.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh.
Sorry.
Somewhat.
Come on, Adam.
Sorry.
To be fair, I would say you're half wrong.
Okay.
So otherkin are people
I
who
will
would-
take that.
So you'll see otherkin where they say like they're an elvish dragon lord whose name is like Zaloris,
Mm-hmm.
Herald of the Winter Mist.
Nice.
Yeah.
You always come up with
I
some
know, he
killer
has the
names.
greatest
I should be a
names.
great DM
Yeah, you
for
would.
some D&D. You know?
You definitely would. Yeah.
But I you know, that's you know, so the trans species people are like the tiger person.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you know, that's what they think. So now those trans deer people, if they ate grass, they'd probably just keel over and die because
Okay.
you can't eat grass.
Right.
Because humans can't eat grass.
Yeah.
Anyway, your point was
I digress.
we should not have
Digress.
lawns. We should have
Do you see that?
mini
I
farms.
appreciate that. Yes, thank you.
We should spread out more. Humans should not be centralized
Yeah.
in major cities.
Totally.
It creates gigantic refuse bins where
Mm-hmm.
we just dump it all in the water and
Seriously.
then acidify the ocean.
Yep.
People got to get out of those cities. They're doing
and
it.
we have these major farm operations that are ruining the water systems.
Yep.
You know, it's not good. We need to reevaluate all of that.
People are leaving the cities, though, right, Tim?
Yeah, they're fleeing.
Yeah.
Well, they were fleeing even before this.
Yeah.
And now there's a serious mass exodus from New York.
You know what? That's happening in Chicago, and they don't even have a choice.
Why is
right?
that?
Because you were just showing me those images of all these people. They're getting rid of all those houses, just raising them all.
Oh man, dude.
Right?
Should we jump into that?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Why not?
Yeah, we can
let's talk about that.
That would be really
Let's talk
interesting.
about the creepiness of my childhood.
Oh, creepy childhood.
Whoa.
Creepy childhood.
Whoa, that's not what I was talking about. Wait, we're still talking about houses, right?
Yes.
The ghosts.
Okay, good.
No, the vampire.
Oh,
The vampire that broke into my house.
Oh.
Wait, I don't know about that.
Wait,
And,
what?
and then the aliens showed up.
Is that why you wear this beanie?
It is.
all
This
the
explains
time.
The beanies.
all right. Come on,
Something to
come on,
do.
come on.
Gosh.
Conspiracy.
Okay.
I do have a crazy, like a really crazy story from when I was a kid, and there were like ghosts in my house.
Ooh.
We talked about it a few months ago, like the crazy ghost
The
stories.
washing
Yeah.
machine.
But no, let's talk about the horrifying racism of
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So check out this image.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, just
There
jump
we
over
go.
to this image. So this is Google, and this is where are we at? We're at 49 West 45th Street, and I have no disrespect for this neighborhood. You see all these houses? This is May 2009. So I grew up on 49th and Laramie, on the south side of Chicago, near the Midway Airport, and we were always basically like forbidden from crossing over north of 47th. So earlier today, I was talking to Lydia about what, we're talking about race relations and Black Lives Matter and stuff. And I mentioned I think I talked about this briefly on the show. I did a big Twitter thread about it.
Okay.
How 47th Street divided the races of my area. Once you went north of 47th, it was all black. And if you were south of that, it was mostly like poor white and like Polish immigrant. And then if you went past Cicero to the east, it was more Hispanic and Latino. And if you went west, you found all the redneck, So the
Okay.
street I grew up on was half Chicago and half suburb, called Stickney.
Okay.
It's really funny. The street's half done. It's hilarious.
Really?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, the city would only come in and plow one half of the street. And so we had a lot of weird, racist problems. One of which, side note, the city apparently banned elotes carts. You know what that is?
Is it the little like the ice cream?
Well, no, it's
Stuff?
corn.
Oh,
with
the corn with like
yeah.
butter on it or whatever.
mayonnaise, Parmesan, and red pepper.
Spicy sauce.
sounds amazing.
Also,
Yup.
right?
Oh my
And so
goodness.
these little guys are walking these carts on, these little Mexican
God,
dudes.
I do love some corn.
That sounds
Dude,
great.
elotes was awesome. And so we'd be hanging out at the park,
Mm-hmm.
and the little cart would roll up, and we'd all be like, yeah, and we'd all run out.
Yes.
And for a buck, you take a corn on the cob, and he'd cut off the corn, mix in some mayo Parmesan, and swirl it up.
That's amazing. That's
good.
$1.
So
For $1.
Totally worth it.
We'd all
Oh
eat
my
it.
gosh.
I would love one of those right now.
Apparently, the mayor made it illegal,
What?
saying that specific business wasn't allowed in this area because
reasons.
I don't know, man.
Uh-huh.
But I'll tell you what I think it is. I think the city wanted the segregation. I do.
Why?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
why?
That's me. But they specifically said, at least this is what I was told by locals in the community.
Okay.
When they stopped
That's
showing,
how they felt.
No, when we stopped showing up, I was told specifically by like one of the adults, like, oh yeah, the mayor said those street vendors can't come to this area anymore.
Wow, that's messed
But
up.
they were okay if you cross Cicero, they're there. And we're like, what?
What? Why?
But we liked it when and then it got replaced by ice cream trucks. So I guess we went from eating corn to eating ice cream, but hey, that's a different story. No, check it out. This is crazy. I didn't know this happened. I left this area when I was like 18 years old, and
What year was that?
2004.
we
2004?
decided, right? Yeah.
2004.
So
Yeah.
So around that time, actually, they were clearing the north side of Chicago of
Yeah.
all low income housing
Yep.
and pushing all those people to the south side, basically into these neighborhoods around that same time.
Let me tell you what happened. I'm talking to Lydia.
Okay.
I'm like, check out this neighborhood. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I've gone in this neighborhood one time when I was with some friends.
Yeah.
Because we had been told you can't. And I mentioned this in the show before, because the police will stop you. What are you doing here? You
Yeah.
must be wanting to buy drugs.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And they might even, like, I was told if you walk through the neighborhood, you'll either get into a conflict, in a manner of speaking, with the locals who are like, what are you doing? Or you'll end up with the police being like, yo, get out. And I had a friend who was female who walked over, and there was an older black man saying, honey, turn around. You can't come in here.
Dang.
And he wasn't telling her like she had to leave. He was saying,
Don't.
For your own
"Don't-
protection.
For your own
Yeah.
protection. Like, you don't want to
Leave.
come in. Yeah. So this is an area they called LeClaire Courts.
Okay.
Take a look at this image. This is just one image. And so I was doing a Google Maps from last year. And it was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, this doesn't look at all like what I remember.
Yeah.
And so Lydia said, why don't you go back in time? And so I went back to 2009 and I was like,
oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wait till you guys, let me show you what, for those that are watching, you ready for this? Let's jump to 2009. They raised everything.
10 years later, wow, it's just a big
everything
open park of grass.
Is gone. This
is insane.
really blew my mind.
So where did all those people go?
All
Exactly
those
my
houses are
question,
gone.
yeah.
Look at this. Let me jump back in time again. Houses. Look at this. Sidewalks, houses,
Yeah.
power lines.
Yeah.
The power lines, dude.
Yeah, wow.
And then you come back today.
The
Open,
sidewalk is still there.
empty fields.
Yeah.
The sidewalks from the houses used to be still there. Look at the street cones, just where this alley was between these houses.
Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't know they did this. This is the area where I grew up, and they were like, this place is, it's low income housing. There's a lot of crime and gang activity.
Chicago's pretty strongly Democrat, isn't it?
It's
is
been
stronghold.
Democrat
It's like-
supermajority
Yep.
for like
Democrat.
this
like,
is
conventions.
Utopia.
Yeah, utopia.
this
right.
is what I think this is what I've been talking about with people. I have no perspective on Republicans growing up in Chicago.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. Because for us, we didn't care about national level politics. We cared about, can we get our skate park built?
Right.
And you had the Democrats controlling literally everything. And so for me, the knife in the back always came from Democrats. Not that I agreed with Republican policy.
Right.
I was, young lefty, and the Democrats were the ones who screwed everything up, held us back. And they do policies like this. Now, look, to be fair, I don't know what they do with these people,
Yeah.
but it's man, look at this empty field. This is crazy. Where's the plumbing?
What are they doing with this
Where's the plumbing?
land?
Where's the power lines?
Yeah.
I don't even care about any of that. Where'd they put the people?
Seriously.
Right.
Because when they did that to the north side of Chicago and they pushed everyone south, there were gang wars. Chicago
man.
became the deadliest city in America for a little while. I don't remember which years it was, but it was after they did all that. And it got so bad that the city told hospitals in Chicago they're not allowed to accept gunshot wounds. So if you got shot in the south side of Chicago, you had to go to any hospital outside of the city limits, which would take sometimes an hour. There was a kid who was like a 7-year-old kid, got hit by just a random stray bullet,
Are you serious?
and they went to the hospital and they're like, yeah, but it's a kid. They got shot. It was a side.
Yeah.
The hospital was like, sorry, we can't do it.
Wow.
You gotta leave, and go. They had to drive like an hour to I don't remember what the next hospital up. It's insane.
I'm over cities.
Me
I gotta
too.
be honest. I'm
Cities are an
over
issue.
cities, man.
Yeah.
And I think, so for those that we do these as separate segments, for those that are just tuning in, we were talking earlier about how there's discussions in Minneapolis of disbanding the police outright.
Mm-hmm.
And we were saying that we think that the real issue is the cities have become unlivable.
Isn't that why World War I happened? It's because they were all trying to consolidate power and buy up all the land around Europe and push everyone into cities.
Is that what it was?
I'm not exactly sure on this.
I don't know enough about
I think I've had a few conversations with a buddy of mine's actually writing a screenplay about World War Franz
cool.
Ferdinand, the whole lead up about what happened and what led to World War I. So, and I know there was a lot of that going on. And all I can think is that anyone who lives in a city is under someone else's boot.
Yeah.
And we need to get out from under other people's boots. It's not a race issue. It's a class issue being stuck in someone else's under someone else's boot. You have to pay to live anywhere. You can't own property in a city unless you got millions of dollars. Who's got millions of dollars to just like buy their house?
And at any time, they might just tell you to move. We're gonna
Yeah.
raise your whole.
They
freaking
want you.
neighborhood.
They want you renting. They want you buying food at the grocery stores around
Right.
there. Living basically on whatever they want. It's like,
You see the sign right here?
what does that say there?
Private property.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's not even a park.
Yeah. Whose property?
It's not even a park. What is it?
Yeah. What is it then?
Let's go back in time. Ready for this? Boom.
Oh yeah.
This is what I remember.
Yeah.
And we were told that there's a lot of gang activity and you can't go in there.
Well, this looks exactly like the place that I was with. So I was actually in kind of a gang when I was living in Chicago. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking around.
Kind of.
Okay. Yes, I was.
Oh.
And it was a place like this that we got shot at, and it was crazy. It was one of the more intense nights of my life. And
Wow. No kidding.
yeah, it's like it's not these people's. I wasn't blaming any of these people that lived in these places. It's the people that put them there. They forced their hand, and now they probably did it again. Y'all have to leave. We're raising this. We're gonna put show it again. A big
future
grass field,
a big private property.
Where?
Oh my
What are they?
gosh.
What are they planning? It doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't make
look.
any sense.
Maybe, I think it's fair to say though,
Mm-hmm.
there is a possibility that low-income public housing was a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe.
is-
So I did a documentary on Ferguson where we talked about Pruitt-Igoe.
Okay.
It was one of the first public housing projects in history, and the idea was you have all these poor people, you give them a place to live, you can deal with homelessness, and you can maybe help them get on a better footing.
Yeah.
Raise their kids, get their kids, better off. The problem was Pruitt-Igoe fell into disrepair, and it became a skyscraper slum, and then it was just awful, just trash. It was just and so they want to do good, but I think the problem is there's more to teaching a man to fish than just giving them a fishing rod and walking away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest challenges that it seems like, what I refer to these Chinese finger trap problems, where it seems like, you got to pull your fingers out, but it makes it worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you might have to do something counterintuitive. And maybe, the first thing I'll say is we clearly didn't have the answers.
Nope.
I'll tell you, there's going to be people from here who are going to say the city was evil for doing all this.
Yep.
And there are going to be people who say the city was evil for starting it in the first place.
And a big problem is there's too many people that think they know the answer.
Right.
And their answer is the correct answer, and that's never right because there's too many different people out there for one person to be like, this is the way it should be. This is the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
It's never the answer.
But maybe there is, we got to get out of the cities.
yeah, I agree.
New York is seeing a mass exodus right now because of everything.
Good.
Man, think about what it must be like. There was a New York Times story published today about a jewelry shop in Manhattan that's just been ransacked completely.
Yeah.
And they actually interviewed the person saying like, people are protesting in front of my store, but I can't even open the door. Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah.
1,000 people walked past my building. I couldn't hand them something. That's the law. These cities are broken.
Yep.
Completely broken. Maybe we're looking at a net positive in the long term. I mean, I hope we don't end up with escalation of force where we
Right.
get death and stuff. But if COVID and these riots result in people just fleeing cities, maybe it's a good thing. Get them out into the world. Get them more responsible.
Yep.
You know what, man? It's a utopian worldview, but how great would it be if people had mini farms?
I love that.
You grow your own food in the back,
Mm-hmm.
meat and stuff, and other products that have to be done in bigger scale. You go to the store to buy, but for the most part, you've
Sure.
got veggies and fruits, and maybe even your own chickens.
Yeah, of course.
But then I guess the challenge is the roosters all over the community screaming, and
Well, you get used to them.
I like roosters,
If
man.
you live
They
far
were a
from your
little
neighbors-
annoying.
No, the goat was annoying.
The goat was, especially for me, because I was on that side of the house where the goat was like right there.
They lived on a farm.
I named him Kurt.
Kurt the goat.
For those wondering, we lived in Miami for a while, and we were
On a farm.
outside. Yeah, we were basically 2 farms away from the Everglade line.
Yep.
So like you go 2 farms over, and that was the Everglades. So we were out in the boonies, but
Yep.
everybody had roosters all
Oh, yeah.
around us. You'd wake up in the morning, you'd hear them all over the
Screaming.
place.
Oh, yeah.
And they scream at night too, don't they?
But there was one thing
Or
that
at
was
dusk.
pretty consistent. Kurt.
Kurt the
This
goat.
is a message for
Consistent
Kurt the goat.
No.
If I wasn't vegan, no, I'm just kidding.
Scary Dave
Kurt's
Kurt.
all right.
No,
hate
no,
him,
you're
like-
cool. No, you know what? I know why he was upset. They separated him from his lover,
From his
Oh,
lady goat.
from his lady goat.
Aw,
So I mean,
that's
I feel
cold.
for you, Kurt. I feel for you.
Yeah,
feel
so
that.
so we had a rooster that Adam named Norin.
Oh man,
There's a-
Norin. I named him Norin.
There's
Yeah.
a Magic the Gathering card called Norin the Wary.
Yep.
And the theme of the card is he's terrified and useless.
Yeah.
So we had this rooster.
He
that
runs
was-
away at the sign of anything.
Did nothing to protect the chickens
No.
when the cat kept getting in. And then
true.
would just flee the yard and go into the other yard where the other roosters would beat the crap out of him.
Yep, it's true.
That rooster, man. We thought he was
A little bit
mentally deficient. Mentally deficient.
Yep.
That poor rooster.
Norin the
They're
Wary.
probably still alive though. We ended up,
What was the chickens' names? Zagana and
I don't know. You named him Nora.
no,
No, that was the bunny.
I don't remember the other chicken.
Zagana was one of the
One
chickens.
was one of them though.
Yeah.
All magic
Yeah,
related.
yeah. Anyway, I think
We're getting sidetracked.
I think, I think about people who live in the cities, and
Yeah.
it's always sounded insane. Like Vice, for instance, was notorious for underpaying people. Like when I started working there this was
2011,
2013.
2013. Okay.
There were people there making $27K a year and living in
Holy
Williamsburg.
cow.
Oh my gosh.
How?
I don't know.
Spending
It all?
spending all of it on rent.
Yup,
Seriously? That's not
Yeah, I'm
enough.
serious.
And I remember
Jeez.
there was one person who literally rented the like an apartment right next to the Vice building. Like literally you walk up the door and you walk in and
Whoa. Right near the water there?
no other direction.
Oh, okay.
But literally the building next to Vice's building. And I'm like, this has got to be like for this room $1,500. Yeah. I'm like, how much do you make? You're like 30 something. I'm like, are you spending like 70% of your take home income on rent just to live
Do you
here?
steal
Yeah.
food
Rent.
or what's going on?
Yeah, they dumpster dive.
Oh my gosh.
Now the rich Vice people were like, I have the penthouse down the street, and I'm like,
Right.
well, yeah, but you make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
These people were so desperate to live there that they had no savings. And I tell you what, man, because I told the story before about people saying like, I want to do what you do, man. I want to travel around covering news.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, stop spending $1,500 a month on rent.
Yeah.
Go crash in your buddy's couch for a couple $100. And you know what the funniest thing is?
What?
This is hilarious. I'm talking to some like young intern who's spending $1,000 a month, and they're like, I want to do what you do. And I say, okay, here's my advice. All that money you're getting, you got to save it. All right. So you got to save. So you got to find some friends. You got to live. You got to sacrifice. And they're like, uh-huh.
And you lost me.
Yeah.
No. Wait, it gets better. And
Oh,
they're
no.
like, but I like my apartment, right? And I'm like, bro, you're asking me for advice while I sleep on my friend's couch right now.
Just so you
I
know.
was, I had a friend in Williamsburg. I paid him, like 300 something bucks to sleep on his couch in his living room. You know why? I made more money than they did at Vice.
Yeah.
But I put it all in the
Saving.
bank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need a bedroom, man. I need to get the job done, and I need to save every penny, because you never know. You never know when that storm's coming, and you never know when opportunity comes and knocking. And I'll tell you this: one day you'll be sitting there, and it's like, you know what it reminds me of, actually? You ever see that commercial for the peanut butter or for milk, where the guy, it's this old commercial, and he puts all the peanut butter on the bread, and then he bites it, and then the phone rings, and it's the radio station saying who killed Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel, and he's in a room where he's surrounded by all of this Aaron Burr memorabilia, and he's got peanut butter in his mouth, and he goes, "Roaring bull," and they're like, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't hear you. Better luck next time." And then he's like trying to pour the milk so he can answer it, but there's no milk left. That lack
I've never
of
seen that, but
okay. So here's the point.
But you painted a wonderful picture.
Wonderful
Yes.
picture.
Thank you.
That milk, if he had just had the milk, the opportunity came a knocking.
He didn't have
I mean,
it.
wouldn't water have worked?
Well, I
I'm
don't know.
just-
It's a milk
I'm
commercial, dude.
I'm just asking.
He's sitting at a table, and he's got a thing of milk, and he's mouthful of peanut butter, and he tries to pour it. Nothing comes out. And he goes, he's like in the room, and everything's around. It's funny because he's got like a painting of it, and there's like the bullet in a glass case.
It's obviously
Is
his
this
thing.
Is this his house?
It was a Got
Yeah.
Milk commercial. I don't know.
I see.
Whatever, man.
Obsessive much?
The point is, these people sacrifice all the wrong things.
Yeah.
And then finally one day opportunity comes to their door and says, would you like to fly with me to Ferguson? There's a huge store and I need your help. We're on our own though. And they go, I have no money. Maybe if you didn't spend it on the booze from that party last night and on this expensive apartment, when I came asking for your help, you were there to come, or not so much that, but like so much of the trips that I had done before I started working for Vice, I paid for everything on my own. I saved everything I could when I would get donations or whatever. And that was the opportunity. So long story short, we'll wrap it back up to the original point.
Yeah.
Cities are too expensive.
They're too expensive.
They-
And not only that are they too expensive, I think the most pressing thing is you're paying to live. You're paying someone else to live. That's what it is.
Well, it's
and if you stay there and you live there and your family lives there, it's like I don't care what race you are. It's if you live in a city, you're paying someone else and you're raising a family and paying another person to raise a family. You're not able to give them that house, right? You talked about it. It's about generational wealth. Can't exist in a city unless you
For
become,
most people, no.
Unless you become a building owner or have a building passed to you, but it's hard to get up like that if you're stuck in city paying someone else.
Yep.
So moving out of the cities.
Where are the pioneers at?
Let's get rid of the cities. Yeah.
There was a movie recommendation on Hulu called Almost Heroes.
Okay.
It's awful. This Chris Farley movie and Matthew Perry.
Okay.
And I've never seen it before.
Never seen
but
it
apparently it's like during Lewis and Clark's
I like Chris Farley
Yeah,
a lot.
but it was not. I turned it off.
Really?
Yeah, it was a 90s movie or something. Anyway, the point was it was about Matthew Perry, this, East Coast colonial era dude. And he was like, I'm going to chart a route to the Pacific. And I'm sitting there thinking about it and like, man, do we have anybody who does that? Like most people just want the easy way out.
Yep.
Everything was done for you.
But that's how it's been.
You know what's messed up, man?
You can't. We're in that place that you just pay to go get food. You walk to the store, you pay for a burger. You walk to any store and you pay to get whatever you need. In a city, it's all available to you.
And not just that,
But you're making all the other people money.
and a lot of these people in New York, the money is coming from them writing articles about Brad Pitt's junk.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they're
it's not
like,
even real.
17 times Brad Pitt's junk was cut on camera. And it's like, you're getting paid 50 grand a year to do that.
Right.
So they value nothing.
Right.
Where's the purpose
Yeah.
in that?
It's eyeballs, attention economy, man.
Yeah.
So, I thought about in the past, like what drove someone to want to leave European, countries to spend months on a boat where you might die. And a lot of people didn't make it across the ocean.
It's true.
And then when you finally did, you landed on a rock and they're like, well, there's all the nothing. It's all you.
They just like jumped out screaming and ran across the continent. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So like, man, could you imagine that? You're like, you got off the boat with your family. You're just, first of all, the boats didn't come to shore. They go to they load a little boat,
rowboats, right.
and then they row you to shore,
Yeah.
and then you climb out onto the sand, and you're like, this is it, and your family's like, this is it, like this is where you brought us. Yep. Start cutting down that tree.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm sure there's something I'm missing about it, but there were like I'm sure once the first few pioneers came, the first thing they did was like start building, a dock and building temporary housing and shelters and things like that. And companies were involved. I'm sure. I don't know a lot about it, but I'm willing to bet like the first thing that happened wasn't families coming. It was like workers and crews thinking about
Fur traders was pretty
Right.
big
Yeah.
back then.
because then they send stuff back and
Yeah.
thinking about what we would do for like terraforming Mars. Like we're not going to send a bunch of families with kids to go and just live
Oh,
on
no
Mars.
way.
No, we're sending scientists and engineers and
But no, but at the same time, they are trying to send family. Not with kids though. But I mean, the two astronauts that just flew, they're married to astronauts that also flew and have both
That's
been
true.
stationed
Yeah, that's a
in
good point.
the space station. So, I mean, technically, yes, they want families to go out there so that it's less traumatic,
then,
for them.
yeah, it's a good point. So maybe it was specialized families. The people who
Specialized families, yeah. Makes
Kids
more
of a
sense.
certain age.
But regardless of any of that, could you imagine just someone being like, get in this plane, we're going to drop you off in the middle of the woods, and then it's all you.
Isn't that basically all these shows that are reality get dropped
Oh,
off?
man.
How long can you
They-
survive?
have you seen the really
Naked and afraid. I can't think of any others.
Have you
but-
seen the viral offensive one where they put all the men on one island and all the women on the other island?
No.
Yeah. And so all the women. Okay, so man, it is.
Oh, God.
They had to have done this on purpose.
Oh man.
But some people think it wasn't on purpose. Like that's just what happens when women are left alone.
Uh-huh.
All right, so the women get lost.
Okay.
They struggle. They cry. They break down. And they beg to leave. They start fighting with each other.
Yeah, they start gossiping
The
about each
men.
other.
Have clean water, shelter,
Band together,
banded
build
together, fire,
everything.
and then the women started demanding they get access to stuff the men had built and stuff like that. And
What is that smile? Hold on. Go
What?
ahead. You
What?
obviously have an opinion
I
on
thought
this.
it was hilarious that women ended up doing that.
Okay.
Because I worked in nursing and I loved most of my coworkers, but they did like to gossip, and gossiping was a serious problem. And they talk about nurses eating their young. And I'm like,
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Is
they
it
said
nurses or just women in
it
general?
is nurses, specifically the field of
Really?
nursing. 98% female. Nurses eat their young. You get a new nurse on the floor, you're in the ICU, she gets no help. Who cares if her patient dies?
Wow.
So this really bothers
That's
me.
rough.
Okay, this really bothers me because it's
Okay.
not about showing this new nurse what's what. It's about taking care of the patient.
Okay, so there's proof
Yeah.
that
That's
not
what I think.
that not all women. Well, yes, there's
Hashtag
proof
not
in
all
that,
women.
but I'm also saying that's Lydia's proof that not all women are like that. So
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that
For
they
you,
all got
Lydia.
on the
Very
island
nice.
and picked
I
themselves
once
apart.
read a story about chickens.
Oh,
Did you know that
Very exciting.
there's what a super chicken is?
no, I'm very
No.
interested though.
Tell us
So
more.
Do they just like shoot out eggs like? Pew,
no.
No,
So
golden eggs.
so chickens have a pecking order,
Yes.
Okay.
and there's like one chicken dominates, and tells all the other chickens like, I'm Big Mom.
I'm
you know
the
what I mean?
super chicken.
No, well, it's the females.
That's the voice that somehow.
No, it's more. It's
represent.
sassier than that.
It's much
Okay.
sassier.
I'm in charge. I'm the super chicken. You listen to me.
That's
And
that sounds like a Karen chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That's what
exactly
they are.
It is.
They
Yeah.
go,
okay.
hold on. So I read the story.
No. You were saying that they actually had hierarchy and were actually the ones in charge. That's not a Karen.
Super chickens.
Yeah.
Okay, they are the managers.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay,
anyway,
okay,
but
okay.
I read the story, and this is going to be proof about what she was saying, because chickens, and they took a bunch of different groups of chickens,
Okay.
and they took each of the super chicken from each like chicken group,
Yeah.
and they wanted to see what would happen if they took all of the dominating hens,
Yeah.
and put them together. And do you know what they did when they took all of the so it's like 12 chickens per group or whatever.
Okay.
And they took the dominant one from each group and then put them all in one group. And you know what happened?
Did they kill each other?
What?
They pecked each other to
Yep.
death.
Called it.
Murder.
Yep.
Wow.
It was just corpses everywhere.
That's
What
awful.
was there like one just with one leg up on the rest? Like that's right. I'm the winner.
Legend has it that as the
The queen chicken.
as the scientists and researchers were walking away, they faintly heard, "There can be only one."
There can be only one.
Yeah.
Elder
That's-
chicken
no, no,
Highlander.
Yeah.
Elder chicken. But that's I actually read that story that they wanted to experiment to see what happened to a pecking order if they took all of the super chickens and put them together, and they just killed each other.
Wow.
So I'm kidding about that being evidence, for
Oh,
No.
and you know
women.
what? We have proof that chickens eat their young because they straight up ate their own eggs.
Yeah, they
Well, that's a
do.
problem actually. I was reading about that.
Calcium
Oh, really?
deficiency, I think.
Well, no, it's a habit because chickens are really dumb.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's
chickens
true,
will eat
too.
chicken. Like
To-
they'll
totally
eat chicken.
different, but
No,
Huh,
yeah, I
alright.
was reading like they can get a taste for egg, and it's too late, and they just keep breaking their eggs because they're really dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, chickens are not smart. And then they eat grass too. I like chickens. I look forward to getting some farm animals and.
But man, they
Getting
dig
nice
craters
property.
in the yard.
They do.
They
Yeah.
do. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
like they started stripping the lawn over time, just spreading out, and everything was getting purged, and I'm like, the grass doesn't grow fast enough for these critters,
yeah,
man, and we
can't
didn't have
keep
that
up.
many.
we had a lot of grass though on that property.
Oh yeah, it was acreage. It was huge,
Yeah.
several acres,
5 acres, I think.
five plus or something like that. Not the biggest, but big enough. But how did we end up talking about
Okay,
chickens?
chickens. I'm not sure.
You know what? I don't complain when we're having a good time. I don't
That's right.
question these things.
That's true.
I'm okay with this.
Someone in the chat says Tim is high AF.
What?
No,
Never.
just
Literally
chilling.
never.
yeah,
high.
you know
Never
what?
high.
That's funny, but someone says that almost every day. Every
know.
single episode I see it, I'm like, where are they getting that?
I remember when
Like,
I
the most clean cut person I know.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't drink, you don't do
Super
anything.
Straight
don't
edge.
even like taking allergy medicine.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember when I was hanging out with my friends on the south side of Chicago, like conveniently in these same places,
Yeah.
not too far. We talk about crazy stuff, quantum physics, time dilation, all this weird stuff, and then they'd always be like, "Dude, are you stoned?" I'd be like, "No."
You don't need to be stoned
No,
to
this
talk
stuff
about
is
that
just
stuff.
awesome.
Are you
Yeah.
mean to tell me that you're only interested in science and the universe when you're on
That's
when
kinda
you're, when you're on
sad.
drugs, like smoking pot? What do
Shouldn't
mean
you
that-
always be interested?
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
I think,
I
yeah.
very much am.
Right.
Interested in science. I felt like I needed to finish the
Yes.
sentence there.
Clarify that.
Someone in the chat said use chickens as tillers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
It works.
They
Yeah.
do,
They
yeah.
shred- they shred it.
Yeah, they do.
Dude,
They rip it
chickens
up.
are awesome,
But they
man.
eat all the earthworms. I need those things.
Oh, really? For what?
Yeah.
Well, you just don't let them get into the garden.
Yeah.
areas.
Oh,
Keep-
yeah, yeah.
Keep the garden
We-
separate.
We were talking about this because we were talking about the island with women and the island with men.
Yeah, and
How did we
opportunity
even
and
get there?
pioneers.
You mentioned-
pioneers,
Oh,
opportunity.
thank you.
There you go. We
Brought it
traced
all back, Lydia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
there
you
it
go.
is, there it is.
Tie it all back together.
So
Hold on, before we move on, we have a lot of earthworms in our backyard.
Yes, we have many.
Just in
Yeah.
case you were
I
curious.
love them. They're wonderful.
oh,
Side note. Yeah. Okay. We
Let's
can
get some
maybe-
chickens.
we can continue.
well, I think we've
Updated everyone on our earthworm status.
just about.
I think we did it.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
I don't know.
We
what
should
just did,
go to super chats, man.
But we have done
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. We are going to.
So
Super
we were
Chats.
remember when we were like, let's do super chats first, and then we didn't.
Yep. Nope. We
Yeah,
got
we're
one
bad
super
at
chat
this.
down. Oh my goodness.
One.
Wait, what just happened? Did it reset?
What
Look,
did-
it says 0.
Oh.
It happens.
Oh, okay,
okay,
that
okay,
happens.
okay.
Yeah, YouTube is broken, man.
Okay.
It's so they've fixed YouTube. That we can see the concurrent views again, and I don't even know what's going on. But
Which is cool.
What I can tell is that y'all aren't smashing that like button enough.
Dude.
What up, people?
Yeah. Come on.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, but let's let's get to the
I
super
want that
chats.
on a t-shirt. Just smash that like button.
Yeah, but that's just like a YouTuber joke.
that means any YouTuber would be like, this is a good shirt.
That's a good point.
Oh.
We should make everyone should wear the shirts. Smash the like
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's read some of these.
You coined the phrase.
No, I didn't.
Oh no.
No, I absolutely did not. I was making fun of other YouTubers.
YouTuber.
Yeah, there was.
I know you were making fun of them, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
insane.
I never heard someone say smash the like button.
It started getting really weird on YouTube, where somebody like would be like, "Yo, make sure you hit that like button, man. We're gonna try and get this up to 10,000 likes. Once we do that, man, it's gonna be big." And then people started increasing the number to ridiculous proportions.
Yeah.
And the videos started getting crazier. Where like I remember seeing one where this guy walks. He's like a YouTuber, a big YouTuber, million subs, and his video started. and He was dead serious. He was like, "Yo, man, we're gonna get crazy tonight. Before we do, whoa!" And then like the screen zooms in and starts like pulsating blue, and it's like smash
The
that
air
like
horn.
button, and it's like spinning and shaking.
Oh, how
And like the
annoying.
numbers are going up. I'm like, wow, this dude's.
Oh my god.
And he had like 100,000 likes. It was ridiculous.
Because it's entertaining.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Couple things. We got to spin the UFO.
We do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. The chat demands
I
it.
will gladly. Thank you, good sir.
Yes, and someone has solved the mystery of why Tim looks high. They said it is because of the lighting in here.
What about it?
I don't know, but apparently it makes you look a little bit spacey.
Don't forget to, for those that are hanging out,
Smash the like
after
button.
the show, so in about an hour, I'm going to be joining Steven Crowder over on Louder with Crowder. And probably just complain about stuff like I normally do.
You're gonna get loud with
Gonna
Crowder.
get loud with Crowder.
That's cool.
We're going to read your super chats.
Yes, we are.
Let's see. Michael J. Oria says, Adam, you make me laugh hard sometimes. Thanks, man.
All right.
That's awesome.
It's good old
Thank you.
IB Rippenham.
Thank you.
Tim, Adam, Lydia.
Yes.
Please consider uploading to my new service at FartShoot. You can speak freely on out of both ends without fear of censoring. There you go.
Nice.
you. We'll have to
Cloud
look
G
at that.
says, I want your beanie. I don't know what's going on with, I'm talking to some of the people at Teespring.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are hard, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lockdown.
Yeah. It's
And-
the lockdown.
Yeah. And the thousands of people marching in the street don't matter, I guess. Graf Von Tierl, thanks for the super chat. Carlos Cruz says, what if the riots were orchestrated by the feds? People fear riots and beg for state intervention. Furthermore, adequate destruction could provide jobs for many in rebuilding phase. It's a good point.
Yeah.
All the
It
buildings
is a
that
good point.
all these out of
Actually,
work
yeah.
people are going to get hired in construction companies.
Clean up and
Time to
it'll
learn
be
a
good.
trade.
There you go.
We did read this one earlier. Yavo with the $69 super chat in honor
That's
of
true.
episode
Thank
69.
you, my
Totally
dude.
worth reading again, though.
Definitely. Edward says, you should move to Texas, homie. Maybe. Fearless Soldier says, episode nice. Glad to see how far you guys have come. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Fabby says, I read today that 2 of the 4 cops involved with Mr. Floyd had only been on the job for 4 days.
Oh
Do
man.
you know that's true? And if it is, do you think the level of charges against them is fair? If it is true, then no way.
That is not fair. No.
I didn't think it was fair on its own. Just because they're inept morons, they should get
Right.
some kind of penalty. But
Incompetence
Especially if
penalty.
they're new. They're like, hey, you should let off him. Yeah, it's
They're gonna defer to someone who's
really gray
senior.
area right there.
yeah. Chris says, I bet he bought a t-shirt. Let's see. John Sislowski says, Walther pistol from Crowder would be sweet. I was thinking.
Is that a bet for what you're gonna get?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming. So for those that weren't here early on, apparently Crowder has a surprise for me. And, I didn't think it would be a gun because you can't, what are you going to do? You can't send it to me. I'm in New Jersey. New Jersey sucks.
He's gonna drive here and personally hand it to you.
No, you can't.
Well, then I don't know.
Yeah, I
then.
don't know how it would work.
I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. But I was talking to him earlier because they were like, hey, would you want to come on? And I'm like, I got to say, man, like the anti-2A arguments have evaporated overnight. The reason that people were able to even have those arguments is because the world was safe.
Yep.
And I think, people like when we lived out in Miami, we got a glimpse of it.
Yeah, it's true.
And now that everything's gone to complete chaos, like I can't even weigh the potential risks because I have to consider my own safety now.
Yep.
And so I was like, I'm over it. I'm 2A all the way, man. I think people need to protect themselves. It's at that point where,
100%.
when that liberal guy in New York called the cops and they said, our city's under attack. You're on your own. Do what you got to do. That was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of
You
an
can't-
eye-opener.
And you're not allowed to have a gun in a city.
Yup. Cities are
Yep.
awful, man.
Yeah, who wants to be in a city anymore?
I mean, you are, but they're like ridiculous laws, man. It's hard enough in New Jersey, and we're not even in a city. Let's see. Russell, thanks for the super chat. Says, how's it going? Hank Williams says, why don't you still do on the ground reporting with these riots and other things like you used to do with Vice? Because I was becoming too recognizable, and I started getting targeted and singled out. So now we have scnr.com, and they do that. So it's still happening. But it's also a common, track for a lot of field reporters who eventually get into commentary and, anchorage kind of stuff.
And if he was on the ground, he couldn't
wouldn't
be
be
giving
here
you
chilling with
the
us.
Tim Pool videos every day.
That's right.
Super chicken talk.
Super chicken talk.
Super
Hey, man, hard-hitting news.
How would you
right.
find out about the super chicken?
I had never heard
Yeah.
of that. I don't know.
Hank, let's see. Sub Music says, "Hey Tim, I live in South Jersey, and I challenge you to a 1v1 on Smash Ultimate. Winner gets the other Wawa. Also, I sent you a DM on Instagram of your second channel being considered child content. Wait, what? That's weird. I'll check it out. I'm not that good at Smash. No way." Diego Morales says, Team, what does being an American mean to you?
Oh.
What does American mean to you?
Freedom.
Freedom.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
It
Yeah.
means America.
America.
Yep.
I remember I started traveling around to a lot of different countries, for Vice and stuff, almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember coming back and seeing the border guards and being like, yeah, America. And you really get perspective when you go to the slums of these foreign countries, when you see the police brutality and the unjust laws of a lot of these places.
Yep.
And why they're in disarray. And then you see how nice and comfortable America is. And I remember just like walking back up to the border agent, and he was like, where were you? And I can't remember, it was like Morocco or something. And he was like, how was it? And I'm like, man, I am glad to be back in this country. I'll tell you what, America's awesome. And he laughed. That was, he gave a chuckle, and it's funny. I'm like, dude, what it means to be an American is, you want to talk about the word privilege? Let's talk about American privilege. Compared to these other countries, we got clean running water.
Yep.
We got beautiful skies.
Well, clean is a loose term
Right,
in some places.
I
but
mean, not everywhere, but
comparatively though to most countries.
no, I'm talking about countries
Some people don't have water.
where you get
at all.
typhus when you drink the water.
They don't
Yeah.
even, and they have to travel to
To get
go
any water
get
at
it.
all. Yeah.
You know, I went to South Africa and I stayed in Cape Town for 9 days, and we took my group. We left the town. We had to go to this. I don't know. We had to drive for like an hour, right? And right outside the town, boom, you see like I don't want. It's more like favelas, or favelas.
Favelas.
Yeah.
And
Shanty towns.
like shanty towns. And it's like I'm like, man, do they even have water? And the driver was like, no, they don't have water.
Yep.
I'm like, where do they get water? And then he was like,
Rain.
and look there. And it was like, you could kind of see in the center of it all. And there was a huge, huge place. In the center, there was like one well, and there was a line of people.
Oh
So it's
my
like you had to
goodness.
like wait to get water. Like that's to shower, to cook, to drink. It's like, man.
How
It's
lucky
probably dirty.
are we?
And it's
Yeah.
probably dirty, who knows?
Dude, you can go out into the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was driving across the country a couple of years ago, and we drove through back roads, found a hotel, clean running water,
Yeah.
not have to worry about parasites or diseases or anything. Yeah, America is privileged, but
Yep.
you got to defend it. That's the thing. Otherwise, we could end up like some of these really awful places, and I think that's where we're heading.
Yep.
I fear when I see everything in the media and on Twitter especially, the escalation is it's unimaginable. Like the things I'm seeing, the journalists calling for the New York Times to take down an opinion piece from a senator, YouTube banning the C-SPAN video of a senator.
Yeah.
If we have big tech removing our politicians' own speech because they consider it offensive or something,
Yeah.
it's literally our politicians.
Yep.
Wow, man. Shouldn't the American people get an op-ed from a politician who's saying send in the military?
Yep.
Shouldn't we know they're planning on doing this?
Yeah.
Now the New York Times doesn't want to do it now because, dude,
Feelings.
I mentioned this the other day, but we were talking about it a little bit. It reminds me of when I saw the peace wall in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And how both sides just are opposed to each other no matter what it is. Like one side had a mural that was pro-Palestine, so the other side had a pro-Israel. And it's like, what does that have to do with Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe it does, man. I have no idea. But I was told by locals that it's basically like the left versus the right. Whenever one side adopts one thing, the other side just hates it immediately and takes the other because it's like, man, it's just tribes.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed. I mean, we're there.
Here's a huge super chat. I want to just read it. I saw it go by. Gaitlin Mader says, just curious, when do you think you might set up a more official news network, and how would you ensure some positive journalistic integrity? Love the show. Recently started watching. I would say your tone does sound a little different from videos released in 2018. Any thoughts? No, I guess you could drop SCNR.
SCNR,
'Cause that's what it is.
They're currently out reporting and doing stuff, and so it is officially running. But that is video production and field reporting.
Okay.
For the writing stuff, that'll be an entirely separate outlet, different website, different everything. And the reason for it is that's going to involve more of me. SCNR is independent from me for specific reasons. They're doing field reporting and sourcing on the ground with sources, and so we don't want anyone to ever be able to claim that there was some kind of interference. Tim Pool's got his political opinions and stuff. Nope, they do their thing, and they're just mostly edgy street journalist type people.
It looks good.
The next thing that's coming is I've been in the process of trying to find a building for a long time, but once we do, that's going to involve me with a much more direct, like, here are the stories I'm looking at. What are you looking at? Fact check these. Let's get them definitive, like confirmed. So one of the things that I'd love to do is when all these brick pallets started appearing, actually assign somebody, like start calling local companies, start calling these housing units and figure out what these are. Yeah. And so the Associated Press did that, and they've confirmed at least 2 of them were legit. One,
like we're supposed to be there.
Yeah. But only 2 of them. The other ones haven't been. And so for the most part, people are saying they think it's debunked. We do know Antifa was giving out bricks.
Yeah.
Whether or not they were stacking them. So, but I'd love to actually have some hard confirmation on a lot of these stories.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fact checking and news aggregation thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see. Deplorable Pirate Captain Gunbeard says, how fast do you think Antifa activists are going to roll on their comrades when they get threatened with the Patriot Act? 2 seconds.
Pretty quickly.
Not even 2 seconds. It's going to be, they're like, the cops are going to walk up to their door, knock on the door, and they're going to answer it and be like, my friend's name is Jim. He's the one who organized it. He gave me $100. He lives at, 1348 West North Avenue. And they're going to be like, whoa, buddy, calm down. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Good information, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Brian M says, Crowder Surprise is 100% a MAGA beanie. I have how many do I have? Like 7 of them
multiple.
now? I'm not going to wear it.
We almost have a rainbow of them now.
I don't think Crowder would give him that.
No, and I think things are getting really scary with the escalation. We had like 3 retired generals come out.
Yep.
Condemning Trump and saying all this crazy stuff. It's like, dude,
they're trying to divide us all.
No, I think they're trying to, like, the big guns are coming out. The election is soon. Mm-hmm. And I kept saying, man, you think it's bad now? Wait until we get closer to the election.
Yep, he did say this.
You have not, if look, to all the people who think there's a deep state and whatever, then if you do think that's true, wouldn't you think they would use every resource available internationally and nationally to do everything to destroy Trump, who wasn't supposed to win in the first place?
Yep.
Outside of that, you've got establishment wealth. That's how I view it. I don't think there, I understand the idea of the deep state.
Yeah.
It's a reference to just the establishment. So I just call it that. It's like, look, Hillary Clinton and her cronies and cohorts, they're super rich, and they will exploit loopholes, and they will do what they got to do.
Yep.
And now we're seeing all these celebrities come out. We're seeing all these weird social media campaigns. Nothing makes sense. I wonder that, when I see the nurses, right? Mm-hmm. The nurses blocking the cars. Now the nurses cheering for the other protesters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is happening? Just literally tell me, because
and as we found out, nurses are cutthroat, man.
Yeah, they are
right,
indeed.
sure.
Yes,
they're cutthroat.
No, but what I mean by this is, if you're an average person and you just peruse various news outlets online or whatever, and you saw them blocking the cars, you probably were like, oh, the nurses are upset. Now you see them cheering for the other protesters. What would you think? Because I saw like I can't remember, a mainstream journalist, it might have been the New York Times, mentioning the double standard between Brett Kavanaugh and Joe Biden was obvious to every single American.
Right.
It
totally.
was, everyone knew exactly what was going on and what the establishment was doing.
Yep.
So what is the average American going to think? I don't know, man.
Red pill.
Yeah, but maybe we're maybe we're in a special area and regular people can't see it because they don't pay attention to the news.
Yeah, the people that only consume the mainstream media. Those people exist and they believe it all. They don't do research at all.
Cernovich said that Mike Cernovich said Trump will win, and the Democrats will take the Senate. If they do, Trump will be impeached in 2 seconds.
Again.
Absolutely. They won't, if they control the House and the Senate, they're going to walk right in and go, we are impeaching the president. Senate agreed. President's impeached and convicted. Gone. Boom, like that. If the Senate gets it. And Cernovich said he thinks they will. And the polling data says they will too. So all these stories are coming out saying that the Senate races have become so close, Republicans are getting concerned. Could be. I think this is going to be one of the most important elections of our lives. And whatever that means for you, yeah, I don't know. All right, let's read.
Yep.
Paul Barnes says, Minneapolis will be the real-life battle royale arena now. Ooh, I got a sneeze coming. Chuck Morris says, a 69 joke right at the start of the show. On this Christian channel, shaking my head. Even though I don't swear, we're not religious.
Family friendly.
Andrew Levin says, King of the Hill is better than Family Guy. Changed my mind. You know, I gotta admit, when it comes to King of the Hill,
They're both good shows.
they are. King of the Hill, I would never choose to watch, but if it was on, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have their moments and they have their memes.
I mean, is it even still running? King
No.
of the Hill? Right.
No.
So it was for the time. It was relevant. It was the relevant show. Family Guy is now the relevant show.
King of the Hill was a weird show.
It's hard to compare them though.
It was a weird
They're
show.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both good.
Findy Time says, here's some pie. 3.14. Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you.
Nice.
Let's see. Matthew Phillips. Did you see Michael Scott in Netflix's Space Force?
Michael Scott.
I didn't.
I couldn't unsee it too.
Well, I didn't.
I watched the first episode, and it really does feel like Michael Scott. And funny enough, I just watched all of The Office. So I like the last episode of The Office. You see, because he was gone for 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons, he wasn't in it. But the last episode, boom, he's there, and he's got gray hair, and he looks exactly the same as he does in Space Force. And then I was like, I'll give Space Force a try. And then it's like exactly the same
Is it a
type
comedy?
of character. Yeah.
Oh.
It's
I haven't watched it.
making fun of Space Force, and
Yeah.
he's like the new head of the Space
Are they
Force.
in space?
No. It's,
Yeah, okay.
Well, at least in the first episode, they're not. So
Space Force.
it's silly.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at?
There it is.
P-Man says, they're coming after yard parties here in the suburbs of Toronto while protesters stand shoulder to shoulder downtown. Ford was criticizing people lining up for doom. Now he's silent. The double standard's obvious to everybody. So I don't know what you can expect, man, but I imagine people are going to be absolutely livid. Dude, I feel like all of these governors are going to get voted out. Mm-hmm. They're going to get wiped out in re-election because people are going to remember exactly how they were spat on.
That's what I'm seeing with a lot of people in Minnesota. They're like, this is our mayor, this is the governor, this is your Senate elective. Let's get these people out of here because they have no idea what they're doing.
It's the funny thing how people are blaming Trump, and I see these memes where they're like, in a Democratic-controlled city, in a Democratic county, a Democratic district, with a Democratic governor of a Democratic state, it's like you're blaming Trump.
Somehow it's Trump's fault.
Yeah, it is. People don't pay attention to the news, man.
Nope.
Let's see. Tanya Reed says, I have a ton of liberal white friends. As a successful conservative minority, I am tired of them telling me about racism when they have never experienced it. It's funny because I totally get it, and it's a social justice paradox.
Yeah.
That when I was talking to David Packman about this, I said I don't like the fact that because I come from a mixed family, they try and tell me, and he goes, that's identity politics, and I was like, right, I hate it.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I don't want
We're on the
that.
same page.
Yeah, I don't want people to be like, you're a minority, therefore, or you're white, therefore. I'm like, no, you don't get to tell me. We'll just stop. Just drop it all. Stop bringing it up. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people of color and, be it Latino, Asian, whatever, tell these Antifa types. And then Antifa goes around saying these things to minorities.
Yep.
It's mind-blowing.
Agreed.
I like how they try and tell Candace Owens what her opinion should be because she's black. It's like, who are these white? Oh, that reminds me that we were talking about that girl getting arrested. Mm-hmm. In it, one of the people getting arrested shouts a racial slur.
Seriously.
And I'm not even kidding. And I'm like, dude, these people are such pathetic, awful. You want to talk about privilege?
Actors.
Privilege. Mm-hmm. It's these kids.
Yep.
They've never been disciplined.
Nope.
They've never faced any hardship. They're spouting racial slurs at the cops because the cops are arresting them. And then they think, what? Like, you know what, man? That they should be treated special. They're better than everyone else.
Yeah, they do think that.
You're literally protesting a dude who got murdered.
Right.
Like, you realize what the cops...
And since that point, 11, how many people have died now since
13,
that?
I think.
13 now total?
So far. Yeah.
I think it's 14.
14 people have been killed now.
Yeah, 14. I believe 12 may be confirmed related to the unrest. 2 of them peripherally.
Yeah.
So they haven't confirmed, but like it happened around. So whatever.
These people don't know.
They don't care, man.
They're not fighting for
justice. I saw this dude I know post something saying, it was like a meme. It said riots don't work, and it said 2 days later Chauvin's arrested, and then there was like some pathetic meme. It was like, oh, and I responded with, you're absolutely right. The riots worked. All you had to do was crawl over the corpses of the people who were killed and all the lives destroyed by the rioting to get to where you wanted, right? Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
Michelle Mybell says another questionable arrest in Compton, California today. Oh joy. Oof. Student of History says these cities are going to turn into third world gang run hellscapes within 6 months.
Yep.
I mean, if everyone leaves,
Well, if the cops just are gone, no cops
Yeah,
anymore.
absolutely.
There's
Definitely.
a high potential of that.
yeah,
That's what I was worried about.
I think
Mob rule.
You're going to your class war in 2 seconds. The poor people in central Brooklyn will rush to the Upper West Side and take paintings off walls. They will walk into your penthouse and they'll be like, fine piece of art, and they'll walk out with it. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
New York will become a hell zone for sure. Let's see. Blixum says, are the current riots the SJW's opening blitzkrieg or the Battle of the Bulge? I think it's the latter. This is... So I have some preliminary information that it looks like the left is preparing for, look, Bill Barr said he has evidence that Antifa is hijacking these things.
Wow.
I don't know what that evidence is, but I have also heard evidence that there is a legitimate left-wing, they call it the Boogaloo.
I mean, they're in the cities right now, but they realize once they go into the suburbs, a lot of Americans have guns that will kill them, right?
They don't, no, but the people who are planning the left-wing, so here's what's funny. They say that the Boogaloo is a right-wing thing. It's not.
Yeah, I keep seeing that. It's like, how is it a right-wing thing? No,
They're
it doesn't
lying.
make any sense.
I think, I don't know. I don't
Cover.
get it.
They're trying to deflect.
I think they're just morons. I think you got too many morons in media, because I can tell you, I can guarantee there are far leftists who call it the Boogaloo. 100% they call it the Boogaloo.
Yeah.
It is not a reference to right, left, white, black, whatever. It's literally just it's slang term for civil war, and the left uses it the same as the right. And they are planning on launching something. So this may be it. That's why, people Bill Barr said it. The Attorney General said evidence that Antifa has been orchestrating these actions. It's going to get worse. And November is coming. Cirilio says, have you seen images going around of young white children posing with a privileged sign for their parents to post on social media? Virtue signaling is the new live vicariously through your kids. Oh, I've seen it.
That's terrible.
LBY Ham says, GZ on episode 69. I've been watching Tim since his first appearance on Joe Rogan. Tim, you do great work. Shout out from Halifax, Canada. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Heather Graham says, Tim and Co. Thoughts a possible defense argument in the George Floyd case. Due to Floyd being uncooperative during the arrest, he was held in a way that limited possible contracting of COVID-19. Oh, interesting. I don't think
he was already in the police car though, wasn't he? Didn't
so
they
they
pull
were
him out of the car?
Right. They were beating him in the car too. But I do think, I think
that doesn't make any sense though, because he was already
on George Floyd specifically. No, I think it's a good point though that cops are going to be doing COVID specialized restraining. You know what I mean?
I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't he test positive? Didn't they test him and he had
a month before?
Oh, okay.
Remember when someone tweeted, if they say that George Floyd had COVID, we burn everything down? Because they didn't think it would be true. It was like it was a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
We got to stop making jokes like that.
We didn't.
Well, we were making jokes about the plague, remember? We need a new plague, whatever.
When?
There are too many people.
We did not make
All
that
the
joke.
time.
I believe
Okay.
you made
That's
that
a
joke.
GIF. That's a GIF that's been going around for a
Yeah,
long
from The
time.
Office.
Yeah, it's
From The
not me.
Office.
It is
It
from
is.
The Office. It is in fact.
Dwight says it to Jim.
It's like we can't say anything in jest anymore.
All right. Nathan, thanks for the super chat.
Thank
Dr. B says, in the past few days, I've been called a racist, a fascist, and a mansplainer for the first time in my life. All I did was explain how trials work. Only fascists pay attention in civics class.
Congrats, that's a hat
These
trick.
worldviews can't coexist. If you have a mob of people who are saying things that make no sense and they're violently angry and you can't reason with them, what happens? It's a breakdown, baby.
Yep.
Project Zeppelin says, did you hear about Rockstar shut down their games for 2 hours for Black Lives Matter?
Yeah. Oh, cool. Talk about virtue signaling, weren't we? It's like, what's that going to do? I understand everyone wants to stand in solidarity, but there's this meme that's now going around. It's like, please, we're with it. Just please keep buying our games. And it's just like,
Did you see the generic
cringe.
brand statement?
2
Yes.
hours. Like, okay.
Did you see
Generic brand
Yeah,
statement?
it
No,
was
what's that?
the logo is a rainbow heart, and its name is Brand Bracket, and it's just a generic statement. We here at Brand, offer up empty platitudes,
Yeah, it's
in
like-
these times to.
To make you feel better and
Yeah,
keep
during
buying our
Pride
product.
Month, everybody
I
has
love it.
pride flags
I love
everywhere.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love Nike being
cool.
like, we stand in solidarity with all of you.
For once, don't do it.
No.
That's literally their ad.
No, what I'm saying is, these shoe companies and these companies come out and they're like, we're right here with you, fighting the injustice and oppression. And they look over their shoulder at the slave labor they use in foreign countries, and they're like, don't let anybody, cover, sweep that.
Don't let them know about that, and we'll kill our profits.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's what the problem is. Our cultural institutions have no resilience, so they bend over backwards to cater to the mob. It makes no sense for Apple or any, Apple blacked out the iTunes podcast or whatever, iTunes store for Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
It's like, bro, the labor you use in China were committing mass suicide only a few years ago. Don't preach to me, man. You haven't changed that. You still use the same laboratory. I get it. They've opened, something, or they've contracted some lab, some factory in the United States. But come on, man, spare me. You're not fighting for anybody but yourself. Let's see. Oscar says, chaos is a ladder. Lord Baelish. Let's see. Dimez Recon. Stay safe. You are one of a few voices of reason that remains. You all need to stay safe for more than just yourselves. Appreciate it.
Will do.
Appreciate that a lot.
Drumsy says, love your work, man. With all the craziness going on, it's good to come on YouTube and listen to a bit of reason to be grounded again. Appreciate it. Nathan Abraham says, Democrats are trying to execute Order 66. You're joking about it, but trust me, man. What is to come in the next few months will be the equivalent of the Hillary Clinton, declaring Order 66.
2020 is a crazy year.
I'm not saying she's going to run. I'm just saying she as like a high-profile Democrat. I'm trying to use the best example of.
Man, she's pushing herself on the scene, man.
Yeah,
I believe it.
You are going to see the Democrats Order 66. It is going to be like every celebrity standing up and putting out a message in the exact same day.
They do that a lot already.
Yeah, but imagine if every celebrity, every former government official, every former president, it is going to be nuts what they do. They're going to pull out. Look, man, I'm seeing already celebrities say things like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You don't know anything Taylor Swift. You write songs about your ex-boyfriends, and you have a ton of ex-boyfriends. All you write about. And all of a sudden now you're an expert on politics? Shut up. I've been covering this stuff for a decade, and I barely know how most of this stuff works.
Yeah.
And I know way more than you do. But why is Taylor Swift and The Rock now coming out and complaining about the president?
Yeah.
The more they do this, the anger I get, and I wonder if they're trying to really tap into the rage of the "don't tread on me" mentality to make everybody go vote for Trump. Here's the big conspiracy theory. They're all secret Trump supporters, trying to annoy you by insulting your intelligence so that you vote for Trump.
Maybe.
Out of spite.
Huh.
Just because, like, you know what, you people are annoying liars. I tell you what, man, the way I see it with human psychology, the nurses thing, dude.
Yeah.
The ultimate insult to injury.
I got a lot of people in chat asking what is Order 66.
Oh, in Star
people don't
Wars,
know.
it's when the Emperor ordered the execution of all of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. So he's like, he's all mangled, and he he's got his hood on, and he goes, "Execute Order 66," and then all the clone troopers turn around and start shooting all the Jedi and killing them, wiping them out.
Okay.
What I mean by the Democrats' Order 66 is that it's going to be their secret salvo of anti-Trump extreme propaganda attacks.
Yeah.
They're going to pull out every stop.
Yeah.
I'm sure it feels like that we're kind of there right now, or it's been going on, because every single thing that's happened in the past this whole year, the Democrats have been like, it's Trump's fault. Every single thing is Trump's fault.
But it's been that way for 4 years.
True.
So my question is then,
I guess I've been, as I said, when I got here, my blinders got ripped off.
So
now I'm paying attention more than ever before. So I'm seeing it.
Here's the important question:
Mm-hmm.
Is Donald Trump Goku or Vegeta?
I have no idea.
So for those that don't get the reference, in the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z, the anime, Goku uses everything in his power. His muscles are failing, and he has to win, and he wins. He overcomes the odds.
Okay.
And Vegeta, who is the stronger one, who is the arrogant one, ends up losing. The question is, which one is Trump? Which one is, the Democrats? Is Trump the underdog summoning all of his strength for a last effort to win and vanquish the evil? Or is he the arrogant, overpowered, who gets wiped out by the, desperate?
I do like that you didn't use Biden, because he just wouldn't have made
he has nothing
sense.
to do with this.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, who would Biden? Yajirobe?
I don't know.
If you know no, not even. Yajirobe was actually pretty cool. So Yajirobe was like a weak, scared, fat guy, but he still actually helped Goku. He cut off Vegeta's tail.
Yeah.
These references are going right over your head for most of your people, but trust me.
Indeed.
Joe Biden, who would he be? He'd be Master Roshi. Oh yeah, Joe Biden's Master Roshi. Master Roshi's a very old man, and he's a lecher. and he's always trying to hit on little girls.
Oh yeah, wow.
That's perfect.
Checks out for sure.
Yeah, but no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not
gross.
fair either because Master Roshi in Dragon Ball, he's like a really old man.
Okay.
But he can also get like super massive and muscular and
Okay.
like summon power, and he teaches Goku to do the Kamehameha, so it's not fair either.
Okay.
But there's a little overlap there with, sniffing little girls and stuff like that. Yeah, Joe Biden's a creepy dude, man.
Yes, he is.
All right, let's get back to reading some of these super chats.
Let's move on. Yeah.
Let's see. Donnie Hopkins says, here's some of my daddy Trump money to go to the defense fund. Make America armed again. Yeah, well, thank the rioters for that. They certainly did. If there's one thing that Black Lives Matter accomplished, it's bolstering the Second Amendment.
True
For
that.
real. It's like going on history books like, Black Lives Matter. What did they accomplish? They made everyone buy guns.
And he
And I mean that with no disrespect towards their personal goals. I mean the outcome of all of these riots, which were the result of these mass protests, were everybody going and buying guns. Let's see. Fuel Pagan says an attack on the supplier to the entire globe, followed by a global shutdown, followed by global riots. Consider George Floyd was killed on purpose, and Ellison is in place to make sure we don't find the truth. I don't go that far with conspiracies.
Brand new cops, 4-day-old cops.
yeah, I checked
Martyrs.
that out.
Martyrs.
Well, no, they wouldn't really be martyrs, but sacrificial lambs, patsies.
Yeah, that's more
Yeah.
Patsy. Yeah,
Yeah.
True.
That's why they were all, they were confused and sitting there. They wouldn't intervene because they had no
One
experience.
of them even
Or
said
they were told not to.
he told the guy who had his knee on the neck, he's like, you shouldn't do that. He told him.
What one of the guys?
Yeah,
One of
with
the
the
other
brand
police
new dude
officer.
who'd only been on the force for 4 days.
Told, the new guy said don't do it.
Yep.
Should have intervened.
What do you? Yeah, it's hard.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'd intervene. This is why
Yeah.
Do you know that there was like a lawsuit or something where I think it was the NYPD. They won't hire you if your IQ is too high.
Yep, I heard that.
You heard that?
Yeah.
It's funny.
I'm pretty
is that-
sure it's true.
Yeah, and the argument they said was that smart people get bored and quit.
Yep, exactly.
So they only want dumb cops. Well, there you go, man. Welcome to America.
Yep, that's an issue.
Austin Laverty says, got an email from This Is Why I'm Broke asking me to donate to help stop police injustice. First on the list was Act Blue. Also having a Molotov is the same punishment as having illegal machine gun. Wow. Sikia Dargan says, say hi to Keldak. Hello, Keldak. ATK says, Tim, fail on the Logan Paul story. There is video of a looter exiting a PF Chang's broken out window, handing a bottle to Jake's crew, who then hands it to Jake. The quartering has the video on it. Well, there you go. Jake was looting.
Holy moly.
It is what it is, man. Peacebone says the LAPD money cut is smoke and mirrors by the mayor. LAPD has a $1.9 billion budget, and they were increasing it by $700 million more this year. So they still getting $500 million budget increase. Wow.
Oh.
So what's 150 million
Yeah,
drop?
seriously.
Like,
Yup.
come on.
Classic Reaction says, the State Police Association of PA released a seriously passive-aggressive response to a photo of our governor, Tom Wolf, marching with a protester yesterday that held a sign reading Blue Lives Matter. Whoa. What? Aaron Greco says, did you see Project Veritas infiltrated Antifa? I did. It was very great work.
Glorious.
Charles Quilter says, we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by, the thing,
Thing, yep.
Joe Biden.
Yep.
But you know why he did that? And we mentioned it before. It's because he didn't want to say the word God to a bunch of liberals. They'd freak out.
Oh.
Big Al says, COVID killed more blacks in one day than the police did in a whole year. COVID affects blacks disproportionately. Remind me who they're encouraging to go out and protest. That's why I'm saying these people are
Wow, yeah.
racist.
That's why I had that tweet. It was like, it feels like the Dems want these people to go out and catch COVID.
Yeah, man.
That's horrible.
It's ridiculous.
Peeping Tom says, Adam, you think police should have insurance like doctors? If you think police get paid the same as doctors, you are deluded. If police need insurance, there will be no police and the cities will burn.
I don't claim to be an expert, but I know that this is, the qualified immunity protects them for not having to be accountable for their actions, and there needs to be some precedent to hold them accountable. Period. That's what I believe. So I'm not trying to make some grand case of any sort, but it's just my opinion on the case. So there you have it.
Yeah. The domestic engineer says, so grateful for sane voices like you guys this past few years. Love from the Twin Cities. I don't think the Twitterverse realizes how many people these riots red-pilled here. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I've gotten emails. People like, dude, these people who, like, these lefty journalists who call me right-wing or whatever have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
They really don't. They live in this weird bubble.
They don't want to know
And I'm
because
like,
it goes against the grain
Do you
for
live
them.
do you live in the suburbs, I ask? No, you live in a cubicle stacked on top of someone else in a city that smells like sour milk. I live in the suburbs.
Yep.
I go and talk to my neighbor, and they're like, did you hear about this crazy? What's going on, man?
Yep.
I was talking to a guy who was a contractor, never voted before. And you know, he told me, he was like, oh, I don't know about all that, man. You know, I don't follow this stuff, but I'm definitely voting for Trump this year because I'm just sick and tired of these people attacking him. It's like, I don't even know what they're mad about. A guy told me that.
Wow.
Local guy in the suburbs. Okay. And I hear this and I take that into consideration with everything I see. And that's where my opinion comes from. Like, as to what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't just read, you know, like the Donald subreddit and go like, this is proof. Everyone loves Trump. Yeah. No, I get it. Those are the supporters. I read the far left subreddits, the Bernie subreddits too, to see what their opinion is. And I'm telling you, man, the Bernie people are ragging on the Democrats too. So how could the Democrats win when they're getting attacked from both flanks? When I hear in the suburbs.
I know. Order 66.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Execute Order 66.
And then Bernie is like walking down the street, like walking the sidewalk, and his aides, like the politicians in the congressional office, pull out blasters, and then he looks over his shoulder, and then he draws a lightsaber, does a backflip.
Although it is interesting though, I feel like Bernie in the Emperor's cloak.
Be perfect.
I mean, he's got that kind of old
Nah, Biden.
white look.
Here's what I want you to imagine.
All right, I could Biden too. Sure.
Biden dressed like the Emperor,
Oh, God.
creeping up behind a woman.
It's a horror movie.
Good, Jack. No malarkey. Let my fingers flow through you.
Oh God.
I can't do Joe Biden. Listen here,
I'm so upset by this.
Jack.
I'm triggered.
I'm the Emperor. I can't do Joe Biden. I don't know.
You really can't.
No, I
what's
can't.
going on with you?
I can't do Joe Biden. I don't know. Some people you just can't get. You know.
Ooh.
Let's see. What is this?
Well, you need coherent words to hear
Yeah,
to like
Tim has way
make
too many
a connection.
coherent words.
He's just a nothing. He's a blah.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. You know.
Yeah.
Admittedly, Trump was pretty hard for a while. Like I
Takes
think
practice.
Alex Jones is one of the easiest.
Yeah.
You know, Alex Jones is
yeah.
he's very specific, you know. Sean Easton says, okay, predictions. These riots will result in people taking responsibility and police their own communities. In November, riots will be less destructive due to an armed populace. Spin the UFO and 69. Nice.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Thanks, man.
Wow, we got way too many super chats. We're only in the first 10 minutes of super chats.
Trucking along.
Flood
really
says,
slowly.
everyone is a lion till it's time to do lion stuff. STFU says, Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the movie Breakin' 1. Tim, you missed the big story on Cuomo. He literally said there were good people on both sides when defending the protests a la Trump Charlottesville.
I believe
What
he
Cuomo did?
yes.
Really?
Yeah, he said. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Stone Bleeds says, your beaniness. I can't read what this. It's Cyrillic. We cannot read it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We got Robert and Marco. Thanks for the super chats.
Thank you.
Super Bam Bam says, I just learned that a cousin of mine led a peaceful BLM protest in Arizona. While I don't agree with her politics completely, I am proud that she was able to lead a protest without it getting violent. That's awesome.
Yeah, peaceful
Super awesome.
protest for sure. It's in our amendment. Like I 100% support it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a quick break. Make sure that you all have mashed that like button. I said mashed. Did you hear that?
Ooh, that's different.
Mash it. You got to push your hand.
They're not going to
I
know
don't
what
like
to
it.
do.
Smash that like
It's
button.
different. There we go.
Smash
So,
that like button.
But also, for those that are not familiar, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Timcast.
Yeah.
And also follow Adam at Adam Krigler.
There I am, right there.
But that's the more important one because you can send him story ideas in his pinned tweets
Yep.
that we actually use for the show and other ideas and art and stuff. And you can also follow at Sour Patch Lids, LYDS.
Yep.
Because she
that's
posts
me.
spicy memes.
I do.
And subscribe to the show because we've got about 20 more minutes. And then after that, I'm going to be jumping over to Louder with Crowder. So hang out. We're still going to be reading super chats for the next 20 minutes. But then apparently Crowder's got a
surprise
of some sort.
So everyone go
This is gonna
over
be
there.
silly.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh,
This is
a
I'm
long day
excited.
for you.
It's gonna be awesome.
Definitely long day.
Long day for
I'm going to go to bed right afterwards.
Yeah.
It was nasty out anyway, so it's fine. Today was like 95
It
degrees.
was 95 degrees.
Yeah. Eric says, police kneeling may de-escalate and say we understand your anger, but I'm worried that it will also say we're with you and won't stop you to those being violent and encourage them. De-escalation 100%.
Yeah.
There a lot of these instances, like the National Guard, man, these guys are awesome. The Army as well. I think, people, it's crazy that people are freaking out over the idea of the Army or the military coming in when it's true that they're not necessarily trained for this kind of unrest. That's actually another point to be made. They're not trained. They're what we've seen so far, the National Guard being like, we're going to get out of your way. You guys do your thing, protests. And there was one video of them taking a knee. The National Guard is really there about the random looters who are not involved with the protests.
Yeah, exactly.
And as long as they're there, the protests can be peaceful. It's actually guaranteeing their civil disobedience. It's crazy. They're not, it's there have been some bad videos, like when they fire on the porch of those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it's like, I have a feeling that if the army was deployed, it would be way better than local police departments because, I mean, from what we've seen so far, where I can't remember who it was. There's a video where an army guy comes out. It was in D.C. And he says, we're going to make sure you don't see us at all. We want you to be able to protest and do exactly what you need to do. And they walked away. And I'm like, how is that worse? Like, these guys were completely respectful. Dude, these videos of the cops firing tear gas canisters, like, for seemingly no reason. I've seen it, man. I've been to so many protests where for no reason I see a cop throw lob a flashbang or fire in the crowd. And I'm like, what are they doing? I've also seen activists instigate on purpose.
Yeah.
But,
I filmed that.
When the activists were...
No. When the cop threw that flashbang.
In Baltimore?
In Baltimore.
Like, for no reason.
Yeah, there was no need.
Yeah, just walking up and you're like, what?
I saw him pull the pin, and I'm like, did he just pull a pin?
Yeah.
Just turned the camera, and then I saw him throw it. I was like, there was like a couple people there, and it's like, it just blew up right next to him. It's crazy.
Holy cow.
Yep. This kind of stuff won't fly, man.
Nope.
You see the video of the guy getting shot in the face with the tear gas canister?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What is that about?
And I saw some people comment saying, hey, man, if you won't listen to the police and you approach them, I'm like, dude, there's like 50 steps in between telling him to stop and shooting him in the face with a tear gas canister.
Yeah. That could probably have killed him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If it hit him in the eye in the certain spot.
They could have just grabbed him and cuffed him.
True that.
People would have complained about it, but hey, there wouldn't have been a viral video of it.
Yeah.
The guy was just smoking. He's like walking up and then boom, blasted in the... It's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Wait, what does that say? How much money for a Soy Jesus ASMR channel?
I don't know.
Where's the...
I don't know.
Yeah,
we could talk
Yeah,
about
you're going to
it.
play games, right?
I didn't realize that my voice
Yes,
was
it's very,
so
ASMR-y.
ASMR.
All right, we have...
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we got 800 billion...
Yes.
What is this? Someone's Supersonic Flash says Crowder is dressed like a Viking, just to let you know.
Oh, cool. I'm so excited.
What?
I'm going to be watching.
What is he dressed like a Viking for?
Let's find out.
Maybe it has something to do with your surprise.
All right.
I'm
He's
very
dressed like a Viking.
excited.
Keith Rogers says, God, guns, God, Bible, bullets, and beans.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
beanies.
beanies.
And beanies.
I said it first.
That's right.
Oh,
We're on the same wavelength. Yeah.
Here we go. Aunt Zella says, it's beyond offending and infuriating listening to rich people supporting to defund police from their walled mansions with security and bodyguards everywhere.
Yep.
Me Too fell apart. Next is BLM. Because that's how it goes. The liberal agenda's mobs start like Neighborhood Watch.
That's an interesting point, too. Like, people who are wealthy are going to be able to afford private security forces.
Yep.
They're just going to, I want to go shopping. All right, let's get the armed convoy going, and we can go wherever and be safe.
Alex Jones
Not everyone's
privilege.
going to have that.
Alex Jones privilege.
The APC.
When he drives in the armored APC and they were throwing stuff at it. I just laughed when I saw that video.
awesome.
It's like, what are you doing?
He's like, I'm on your side.
He was saying that?
Someone, it's on the loudspeaker. Like, I'm trying to get the truth out there.
It's really funny how he is. Like,
He
how
really
how
is.
it came to be. Like, I was looking at a really old Paul Joseph Watson YouTube video.
Uh-huh.
And it was like a police brutality video. He was talking about the government and all that stuff and like police brutality. And it's true. The conspiracy right, the libertarian right, and like the weird overlap between a lot of these communities were very much anti-police brutality around the same time down at Occupy Wall Street and all that stuff. And something weird happened where now it's like they're not on the same side, I guess. I don't know, man. The fracturing of the political tribes was a weird thing, let's say the least. Darren Daly says, the phrase that Adam is looking for is postmodern feudalism. In the era of easily outraged MSNBC-driven millennial mobs, the cities aren't the answer. Smaller, self-sufficient communities who can protect themselves is. Hey, sounds like a good,
We got to bring the community back to humanity.
Yeah.
That's why we've survived so long. It's because we've taught each other stuff.
We care about each other.
Stayed together.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore. Now it's all about being the best for yourself, by yourself, living on your own, getting your own apartment, getting an apartment, paying someone else.
Living in a cubicle.
Right.
Atop a cubicle in a city that smells like sour milk.
That's not going to further the human race. It's just separating us more.
The Grizzly says, how much would I need to pay you three to play D&D on stream? I'm a DM with 14 years of Dungeon Master experience and was a partner store DM. Unpaid person who got store credit for intruding the game every Wednesday at my local game store. I'd love to DM for you guys.
That would be dope.
Dude, once we get this building... So last year we set up this thing in Connecticut that eventually just didn't work out. Okay. And we were planning on doing all of these things. We had a theater. Okay. You didn't know this, did you?
Yeah, I heard about it. You told me about it.
So it didn't work. We didn't have the space we needed, and I came back down, and I've been trying to look for a building. We almost got one. And the goal is, we're going to do live streaming tabletop games, hangouts, and stuff like that. Dude, live stream D&D is so much fun. We didn't get a chance to actually do it.
Yeah.
We did like one practice scenario where I was like a rogue in a bar, and I convinced the barmaid to give everyone, so I wanted goat milk, but it was spoiled. And so I said it was Chev, goat cheese. And then we did the scenario where everyone bought it, and then I bought everyone goat cheese. And it was just serious absurdity. And that was about as far as we got. Then we fought some wolves or something. You know, D&D is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun make-believe, and we make it silly, we make it funny.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the plan, man.
Cool.
Once we get up and going, up and running with a good space and everything.
We got 12 minutes
Yeah.
left.
We got 12 minutes. We got a hard stop at 12 minutes.
Yep.
You
read that one. I read that one.
What, for official news network?
Yep. We talked about Scanner for a little bit.
I would say your tone is a little... Oh, okay. All right, right on. And then what else we got? Adam Pennington says, Tim, Adam, Sour Patch Lids, I tweeted you a live stream from a black cop in California in the first hour of the stream. He lets it all out talking about all the stuff you should watch the first hour of his VOD. Interesting. We'll check it out. Edud says, the laws protecting police are there so you can't sue the individual while acting in the line of duty. If we got rid of them, most police would lose their house and have to pay out of pocket defending against any accusations. Or they would get insurance.
Right.
And I think the issue is, how much would the insurance cost? $10, $20, 30, 40, 50, 100? I don't know, man, but I'll tell you what doesn't work right now. Why is it that when a cop, wrongful death, the taxpayer pays for it? Like, why does it come out of my property taxes when a cop does something wrong? So here's the problem I see. I totally get what you're saying. The police would probably just not want to do it because they'll be held responsible in the line of duty. All right. Why is my community paying for the cops who now feel like they don't have to worry about it because we pay the bill?
Yep.
Right.
How many cops are like, well, like, look, I'm not saying the cops want bad things to happen, but they're also not super worried because they're like, you know, worst case scenario is you pay for it. Your tax dollars, your community.
Yep.
The money that should be going to your school is going to be paid out because we did something wrong, and we don't care because you know, I don't want to get too, I don't want to exaggerate a bit, but like that, this is a serious problem.
Yep.
All right, so for a super chat, appreciate it. Maria Joe's Jose Asbury. Cyberpunk says, our side doesn't threaten cops, and we listen to what they say. You can only be armed protesting when not doing civil disobedience. BLM cannot protest with weapons. Teenagers would get hurt. Yeah. Let's see. R. Strathman. Beanie Crew. I have been a hunter for 35 plus years, but never bought a firearm. Today, I now own AR-15 350 Legend. 350 Legend is the type of bullet it shoots. Smash that like button.
Smash it. Thank you.
Mark Robertshaw says, my wife's family home had ghosts. There was a lady in a wedding dress. She was murdered in the plot before the house was built. There she would walk up the hallway. There's a shadow man, a cat. Well, that's pretty awesome and out of the blue, I guess.
That's amazing.
We
You
briefly-
guys are
We
talking
kind
about
of
ghosts.
talked about
briefly
ghosts a
mentioned
little bit, but interesting. Very cool.
All right, let's jump down and see
Love
where we're
good
at with
ghost
the
stories.
Oh, yeah, man.
current super chats. Vincent Keegan says, been watching your news for years. Nothing but quality news. Today's a good day to subscribe. Appreciate it.
Yes, it is. It's a good day to subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
That's right. Make sure you subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. D14 Jab says, about localized cops for towns. Bring back public shaming like the stockade. Set them up, get the rotting produce, and allow for sit-ins to throw one item per person in a stockade and do it daily. Well, I don't know about all that,
That's a little much.
but I get the idea.
Public shaming.
That's cancel culture. That's what they're doing.
No, cancel culture is being shamed out of your livelihood, though. There's a big difference between
Long-standing damage.
Yeah, between being embarrassed about what you did and having people call you out for it, and then being like, okay, did you learn? Yes. So
Yeah.
that's my problem with cancel culture. You're not allowed to learn. They're like, nope,
Right.
you made a mistake. That's it. You're done forever. You know, no
Bro.
forgiveness.
Bruh.
That's not.
Did you hear
public
about the
shaming.
guy whose dad said the N-word in the 80s? So his son lost a sponsorship?
What?
Yep.
No, that's
Who was that guy?
That's
Can you look
He
it
was
ridiculous.
a race car driver.
Yeah, race car driver.
Yeah.
What did his son do?
They
Absolutely
found out that
nothing.
his dad in the 80s had a ward before he was born.
The
And so the
sins of the
sponsor
father.
dropped him.
Wow.
Because our cultural institutions, our companies are not resilient. They're pathetic.
Yep.
You know
Okay.
what? You know what, man?
It's true.
Everyone. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I think the American culture is dominated now by pathetic gray blobs.
Weak.
weakness.
Weak
Yep.
skinned.
Connor Daly lost
Connor
his
Daly.
NASCAR.
What happened to the
sponsorship.
First Amendment? Someone can tell me, anyone on the chat, I don't care what you say about me. It's not going to affect me. I don't care. I love who I am. I'm very comfortable in my skin. So you can say whatever you want. You can call me anything you want. I don't care. I don't care what it is. And that doesn't exist right now. You're the same way.
Right.
And it doesn't matter.
So
anyone could call you anything. You'd be like, okay. That's your right to call me whatever.
So this is the thing I was saying before, is like it feels like liberal and conservative is now not really about liberal and conservative policy ideas.
Right.
It's about whether or not you're a whiny baby or an adult.
Yeah,
Boom.
pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
it.
pretty much sums it up.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're
I'm inclined to agree.
You're vegan soy Jesus skateboarding,
Sure.
hippie.
Yeah.
And you're like, F you can call me whatever, and I don't care.
Call me Soy Jesus. You're trying to make fun of me. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, but now it's not even. It's like, it was funny. Someone tweeted at me because I tweeted something, and they said something like, you complain about people making fun of you on the internet. And I'm like, whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
what?
whoa, whoa, whoa. I encourage people to make fun of me on
Something
the
I
internet. What are you
don't
talking
do.
about?
Yeah.
Seriously.
You're just talking about me more, spreading the good word of
Seriously.
of Tim Pool.
right.
Living rent free in
It's
your
like,
mind,
sure.
man.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. I did a live stream a while ago because somebody was like smack talking me on Twitter, and I
Yeah.
was like, I had this kind of like, this was a couple of years ago. I had this kind of epiphany.
Epiphany. There you go.
That's the word. And I was kind of like, wow. Like, first of all, I don't care because I remember I told you the story about the friend we had growing up who used every racial slur.
Yeah.
Do you think I care what you call me, dude?
Not
Right.
He
anymore.
called a racial slur like 50 times a day, and none of us
Yeah.
cared. It was a joke to us. It was funny.
Right.
But I realized, like, these people who are online shrieking and insulting, I'm like, man, they really care about me. I'm not saying they care. I'm not saying they care about me in the sense of my well-being. I say they care about who I am and what I'm doing enough to be obsessed and like not stop talking about it. Bro, someone made a meme where, you know the meme of the black dude, it was Shaquille O'Neal, I think it is. He's sleeping and then he wakes up.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it said something like, police brutally murder an unarmed black man, and it's
Okay.
like sleeping. And then it said Joe Biden farts, and the eyes are glowing and open. I thought it was hilarious.
That's freaking
Like, the
awesome.
dude thought he was making fun of me, and I was like, bro, that's awesome.
That's meme power.
Like, that's a funny meme. Like, Joe Biden farts. I agree. It was hilarious.
Yep.
Because I made a tweet. I was like, I'm proud we broke 200,000 views on our Joe Biden farts video.
Did we break 200,000?
yeah,
yeah,
I
it
was like,
did.
this is my finest moment.
I laughed a lot on that segment.
That was such
Yeah.
a fun
That
segment.
was good.
So-
I
Maybe
believe
distraction.
someone said, I didn't know Adam was such a connoisseur of,
Yeah.
of
farts.
farts.
Yes.
Of good farts. Well, we do have
Well, they know it now.
the
Everyone
ever-famous
knows.
super chats from IB Rippenham, who has now
Yes.
become a staple of the super chats.
Dude,
Always-
I be ripping him's classic.
I love it.
Yeah?
I
love that guy.
appreciate it.
Or girl, I don't know.
It doesn't
but
matter.
they be ripping them.
Indeed.
What is this?
That's funny.
The VTech kid, Baron, says, I agree with Sargon. Don the MAGA beanie already. LOL, keep up the good work, you guys. No, you know what my thing is? I think, like, the MAGA hat represents something specific to a tribe, almost.
Yeah, okay.
Even if I end up voting for Trump in November, that's not, I don't feel like that. It's just not who I am. I'm never going to wear that hat. And it's not even the hat, the shirts, like, nah.
Right.
I'm completely independent. I hate everybody equally. I don't
Yep.
I don't discriminate at all.
That's right.
Everybody is awful.
That's right.
Yep.
True equality.
I don't want to be involved in anyone's tribe. I don't want to be involved in anybody's, group or whatever. Politically homeless is the best way it's been described. And I think it was Bridget Fedesi who coined that. I could be wrong. Maybe it was Melissa Chen. And it's just a bunch of people with varying views who don't fit in anywhere and probably don't want to.
Yeah.
I certainly don't. And I might vote, for Trump if it is. But I'm not going to be a fervent shirt wearing, hat wearing, or anything like that.
Yep.
Like,
It's a brand.
someone sent me the Trump straws, and they're hilarious. I don't use them. I didn't buy them.
Right.
I just think it's funny. I think the MAGA beanies are funny too. I thought the Andrew Yang stuff was all funny as well. I'm gonna do my thing. Ignore everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Just
We
do what I
got
want to do.
3 minutes.
SATS says, I don't think America is on the brink of a civil war, but rather close to a reign of terror, which is worse. Radicals are filled with Marat politics, and the DNC is seemingly taken over by Jacobins. Oh, that's when it gets fun.
What's that one right above that?
Which one?
What does that say there?
It says, Adam, you are very handsome.
Thank you,
Oh,
Tim.
oh.
I just wanted to hear you
Clever.
say
All
it.
right. Alternative JK says, I'm watching the George Floyd surveillance tape and noticed there was a fifth cop at the scene, navy blue vest and bandana mask. I'm surprised no one brought this guy up, and he could be a suspect. But there was actually more than 5 cops. I think there were 6. Actually.
Really?
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because the other guy came, like, there was a bunch, there was in and out. There was another cop who was a tall, I think he was Middle Eastern looking. So yeah, there was a bunch of cops involved in this. Bomb Choose says, I just spent the last 3 minutes trying to insult you like a kindergartner and was blocked by YouTube censorship every time.
How rude.
I'll just tell you about it. I'll tell you about my failure instead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
YouTube is giving us our safe space, so you can't say naughty words.
Yep.
All right, we got a bunch of members. We got
welcome,
Robert,
everyone.
Alex, and Cobalt Revolver. Thanks for becoming members.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Alex, Angel Rodriguez says, Tim, Buffalo City Police just critically injured an old man, cracking his skull by shoving him off.
Dude,
Emily
I
Molly
saw
just
that.
retweeted video. Any opinions? I didn't see it.
I saw it. They walk
Wow.
up to him and they shove him over, and he's old.
Wow.
He's not gonna recover.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know what? I've covered these protests, and I've covered when the protesters started. I've covered when the police started.
Yep.
But they don't like the protesters. Don't like it. They've specifically said to me, only film the police, and I'm like, nah. Like, I'm gonna film everybody.
Yep.
So if you do something wrong, don't be surprised. But if you're really the good guys you think you are, then there you go.
Then
the
there's
police,
no issue.
Yeah, but
Right.
no, they're not the good guys. It's just zealots trying to convince you to join their side.
Exactly.
I'm not interested in that,
Truth. Yep.
man. All right, but I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna spin that UFO.
I got this. I got it. I'm
Smash-
on it. I'm on it.
Smash the like button.
Adam's
Boom.
chore.
Whoa. It is
Sure.
my honor.
It's your pleasure.
Privilege.
Your
My
privilege.
honor.
Your privilege.
to spin the UFO for you. Talking to you, not you two.
Do you remember? Wait, hold on,
Talking
hold on.
to you out there.
Before you do, did you ever see the "It was my privilege" meme? Basically, these memes are hilarious. They're old school 4chan memes. I say old school, but like 4 years ago, and it would be a story where, like, some woman was freaking out because a man was exerting his patriarchy, and then it would end by the man whispering in her ear, like, "I laid my jacket down over the puddle." Before she was about to walk, she was quivering in fear at the sight of the patriarchy. I leaned over and whispered, "It was my privilege." His memes are hilarious.
Freaky.
That's
Privilege.
amazing.
There's a bunch of them. They're funny.
Well, there you go.
But
The UFO is spun.
make sure to follow me at Timcast on Twitter and Instagram.
Follow me, Adam Krigler, at
Yep.
Adam Krigler,
Yep.
Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
Send Adam story ideas and things you want to see on the show,
Yep,
because
send them my way.
we do the show every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. At Sour Patch Lids, LYDS,
Yep.
for spicy memes. We will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Make sure you subscribe. Before you go, it would be great if you did hit the like button, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll put up clips tomorrow.
Yep.
We will see you then. But for now, don't leave. Click over to Louder with Crowder's live stream if you don't know him.
Yeah.
Because I will be joining in about 15 minutes.
Go see Tim's
and
surprise.
apparently he's got a surprise for me,
Yes.
so I have no idea what's going to happen.
excited.
Surprises are
It's
exciting.
going to be ridiculous and silly, but seriously, go watch Steven Crowder now. Go, everybody go. I'm waiting for you to leave. I'm watching you leave.
Go,
to
go,
Steven
go,
Crowder's live
go.
stream.
You're still here.
Get out.
You're still here,
How are
everyone.
there still 16,000
You know what?
people?
I don't know.
Maybe I should just leave. I'll leave.
You're going to leave?
I'm going to leave.
Nas,
He's leaving.
Adam's leaving.
Adam's leaving.
It's 10 o'clock.
I'm
All
out.
right.
Done
Yeah,
producing.
I'm outta here.
Bye,
I'm
everyone.
gone.
I'm just
We
kidding.
will see you. I'll be over there for just about. I think I'm doing like a 15-minute hangout with Crowder. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but it should be around 10:15. Give me enough time to call in and get everything set up. But I'll see you over there. Thanks for hanging out, and then we'll
Good
see
night,
you
everybody.
tomorrow at 8 p.m.
All right. Bye, guys.